Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 4, here at Sakhir in Bahrain. We are expecting a dry qualifying and race, but Jacob Meister is currently down in the race lobby, just trying to get our forecast for us, but not expecting any surprises there. As we'll run through the track details while we wait for everyone to load into the session. So this 5.4 kilometre circuit with its 15 turns and 3 DRS straights. Quite a bit of action over the last couple of seasons. We'll run through a couple of highlights. We had turns 2 and 3, battle between Pacey Shrimp and Panda. Panda having to go off track and then a massive tank slapper as he rejoins just behind the Red Bull. We saw quite a bit of action in those first couple of corners. As well, back in Season 4, we had Seb and Mikau battling side by side as they go down the straight towards Turn 4. The Red Bull trying to take the inside line, the Haas banging tyres, and the Red Bull with a massive slide and a catch. And great driving from Seb there. And last season as well, we had a great battle between Matsia Dabri, Shrimp and Big Al through turns 4 and 10. The Red Bull getting pushed wide by the Alfa Romeo, rejoined side by side with Haas, and battling all the way around turn 5. Through 6, the Haas ran very wide, but sent it down the inside of the Red Bull. Drivers giving each other a lot of respect. Coming through turns 9 and 10, though, Red Bull squeezing the Haas out. We should see this a fair bit. It is a very, very tricky corner to get correct. And hopefully we'll see some great battles here tonight. Just jumping into our race session. See if any of the drivers run out laps. I'm expecting Apollo Pepsi is usually the first one out on track.
Pepsi, yep, always Pepsi.
And welcome Jacob Meister. Any surprises with the weather forecast tonight?
Well, you guys aren't going to believe it. It's all dry here at Bahrain.
Damn.
So I'll just point out, Panda and PTR serving qualifying bans. I'm just going to run a little prediction in chat. If you guys think Panda is going to finish in the top 10 or not.
Yeah,
he'll be running for most qualifying.
I was quite surprised. He's actually not scored any points yet. He's been so good in qualifying, but unfortunately hasn't been able to convert those to a good race result. So hopefully he can get a bit of a change of fortune tonight. So on board with Apollo Pepsi coming into turn 1. A little bit of a lock up on the inside, but keeps up the speed. Looks like Geordie is kind of joined, and he looks like he's DC'd again. Hopefully he'll be back in.
T-Mac also having issues. I think they caused a little bit of a freeze there for a second, Geordie leaving. But
McLaren getting a little bit hairy out of turn 5 as he goes through the S's in sector 2. Pretty tidy. Another lock up going into turn 6.
Hard to get the apex there, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Going through 9 and 10. Ooh, a big pinch on the front left. You expect to see a lot of people doing that. It's such a hard corner to master when you're running no ABS. Comes down the second DRS straight. A little bit of lock up again. Runs a bit deep. Through turn 11. This is going to be another tricky one as well. It's very easy to lose the rear end of the car there if you're not quite set up. Or if you push a little bit too hard on tyres that are either too cold or too worn. McLaren now coming down the final straight, turning into the final corner, clips the apex nicely, loses the rear a little bit on the exit as he puts the throttle down, has to back out of it a little bit, across the final DRS zone and sets a 126.880, so first time of the session. He'll jump down to Trin, who's about to cross the line as well. And 25.6, pretty solid time.
Like yeah.
I think we've got Fever as well, who's on the medium tyre. Oh, that's not Fever. That's Fever. On the medium tyre, setting a 126.056. That's very, very competitive. Just a couple of tenths slower than Trin. Zartanis sits 125.7. And Pondon, 125.8.
It's actually really quick, because the mediums are about a second slower than the softs in terms of quali, so...
Yeah, Fever's really been very impressive this season. His qualifying pace has been exceptional. I think only Mikau's really been able to take him on. Speaking of which, Mikau's on his outlap.
more times rolling in. Pacey and Stars of 25.5s as well.
Yeah, I've noticed the AlphaTauri guys last couple of weeks have been practicing pretty hard. Always in Discord together, so I think they're definitely trying to get a lot out of their preparation for the week. To stumble with Mikaz who starts a lap.
Very wide coming in, but it's all looking good. Obviously, this is Mikau we're talking about. It's pretty consistent usually. See what happens first DRS straight.
See, just positioned the car so far over the left-hand side, just keeping his right tyres inside the limits. It's right up onto the curb at the exit of turn 4. Purple in the first sector. Runs a bit wide. Ooh, runs too much on that curb. The tricky part with that is that it's quite rough on that exit curb at turn, I think it's turn 7. Turn 9 and 10. Not a lock-up at all. Got that pretty well perfect. Again, positioning his car right across off the track. Clips the inside of 10. Throws it into 11. Bit of traffic. Gets saved out of his way. Gets right across the curb again. Clips the apex.
All the way down on there. Yeah, he just stays on that side. No point moving it if he's going to stay to it.
Yeah, he wants to round off that corner as much as possible. Brakes at the 75 metre mark for the final corner. Much better on the traction on the exit than we saw earlier from Apollo Pepsi. Opens the DRS and a 125 flat. Half a second quicker than his teammate Stars, so it's an absolutely amazing time from him. We've got the Renault combined is on a lap coming down the final straight. On the medium tyre as well. Geordie looks like he's got some connection issues this evening, unfortunately.
It's going to hurt because his qualifying is really good as well. Combined 26.6. It's known for it now.
Got a few drivers who haven't set times yet, but I think one of the Red Bulls is about to come across the finish line. It's Big Al.
It's good for a 25. Yeah,
Ooh,
25.
Great time by Big Al. We've got Matt Soyd just about to start a flying lap, so we'll jump on board with him.
Mr. Zoid, and the AlphaTauri's pretty unlucky this season. I mean, Pacey's had a couple of good runs. Matsuo hasn't scored a point yet, and he's got a really good qualifying. Like
yeah, and of course, last week at Silverstone, the two AlphaTauris actually collided together in the first couple of corners. I think Matsuo broke his wing and spun Pacey as well, who ended up towards the back. So very unfortunate. I'm sure Trans Tost was not happy with them after the race. Hopefully they've worked out. Oh, a big oversteer by Matsuo in the exit of turn 4.
That is how I retired last season in qualifying. I can see that all over again. Very easy to just lose the car there and hit the wall on the right.
So Wahid's left the session as well. Hopefully the lobby is okay.
And with 3 very good qualifiers out of the running, if Geordie doesn't set a lap, that is, then a lot of people can really put themselves a bit further up, like Combined or Band, who don't necessarily do as well in qualifying. They can get themselves up in the order a little bit.
Yeah, just noticing Band's still in the pits. Might be saving the tyres, as Matsuo apparently goes purple in the second sector.
That must be a bug.
We've seen that from Bandcamp. Most of the races this season stopping to save some extra fresh tyres for the race.
So it's stuck into 25.1 as Matsuo's about to cross the line as well.
Time. Yeah, Matsuo 126 flat, so about a second off the pace, but yeah, we're seeing some pretty competitive times at the top there. On top of the back, I think, who we got? We've got one of the Haas drivers is on a lap. Artanis. Bit of traffic in sector 1 now, hopefully they stay out of the way of the Haas driver. A little bit of oversteer in the exit of turn 2.
Oh, it's very messy up there, yeah.
A lot of traffic. None of them are on laps either, so I think Geordie might be on a lap at the front of that queue. Apparently, Artanis goes purple in the first sector. I'm not sure how accurate that is. And yeah, the AlphaTauri stays out of the way on the inside. Tiny lock up by the Haas.
Nearly 2 attempts up on this first sector anyway, so that's good.
through turns
Currently on
9
the
and
25
10. Another lock up on the left. Racing point getting out of the way. I think that's
Stars.
Stars. Okay, getting super wide on the entry. Just trying to maximise that turn-in speed. Just comes through 11. Oh, the car looks like it's almost about to step out, but he keeps it flat. Takes a lot of curb on the inside. Pretty tidy again, same purple in sector 2.
It's looking really good. This will be up top 3 for sure here.
Clips that inside curb. Very stable on the throttle in the exit. DRS is open. He comes across the line. A 125.251, so a couple of tenths shy. I'm going to jump back on with Stars, who's just behind him, about to start a lap. Of course, Potsy, Geordie and Bandcamp will want to be setting a time, or they'll actually be starting behind the drivers with quali bands. Stars looking very loose through in between turns 1 and 2. Rear's not very planted.
It may just be a setup thing. I know some people are running very oversteery setups here, trying to get some more pace going, but...
Yeah, I think it'll definitely come to its own for the race, but yeah, qualifying it looks like a real handful, that racing point. And through the S's, he's getting right out of the throttle. Just the car's not really responding.
He can't really continue on this either because these softs are going to have too much wear to start the race on.
Yeah, it looks like it's a bit oversteery on mid-corner, but understeery on the turn-in. You just see through that sequence of corners from turn 5 to 7. Just running very deep. Car not responding.
Now, I know Stars hasn't had a ton of practice coming into this race, so maybe part of it as well, but...
Still setting pretty decent time, though, for... still up there in P5 at the moment for a lack of practice, so it shows it's a very high-quality driver.
Indeed.
Just had that preparation to be a bit more consistent. I think he'd be right up there with Mikau and Sid at the moment. As Stars comes across the line.
He found the time.
Yeah, 16,000. So he made up the mistake, but yeah, no improvement for position. We'll jump up with Geordie's done a 125.2. Currently on another flying lap.
Wonderful.
Towards the end of sector 1.
Oh no, he's backed off. He's no ARS there.
Yep, good catch. It hasn't validated. I'm not sure if that hasn't updated with how many laps.
Oh, Mikau.
That's interesting.
24.8.
Yeah, he's starting to push now. He's still got another lap in him as well, so that is a solid effort. Going to jump on board with Big Al and the Red Bull. Coming to the end of sector 2, turn 10 now.
He was nearly 2 tenths down on his time. Yeah.
Across the sector, 200s, 300s down.
Another purple sector.
Might be a bit of a bug, I think.
Yeah.
Turns
Yeah, felt pretty close.
Comes across the line. Oh yeah,
Just
1/100th of a second quicker than Artanis, and
yeah,
200th
that's just enough.
shy of Shorty.
Wow.
Very
Top
tight.
4?
Very
Top
tight.
4, 1/10. Or 700ths even, yeah. There's definitely a little bit groups around the early 25s, then in the mid 25s, and then back into the 26s. Definitely see. But people will be getting ready for their last runs around now. Most people in the pits. 4.5 minutes left on the session.
Just on board with Lotus, who's currently on a flying lap. I think he's the only one at the moment. T-Mac might, he's on one as well in sector 2. Lotus, 2.5 tenths up. Tidy first sector.
He's got some clear air, but I mean, he's going to be a bit out of sync if he wants one more run, so this might be his last one. In Fever, 24.6. So responding to Mikkel's fast lap. Yeah.
Is he going to have enough time to come back in and do one more run? Possibly. There's about 4 minutes left.
And Potsy. Yes, so Potsy is reserving. He's usually running with us for the last couple of seasons, but he's just reserving this season, so good to see him back.
Lotus, half a second up now, so it's going to put him up into around about P12. And you just see the difference between Lotus's lines and some of the front runners. He's just not using nearly as much of the track as Fever and Mikau are as he comes across the line in P12. Just 400ths of a second down, so he did make up even more time on Condon there, but not quite enough.
It's a nice spot to be in, just outside the top 10 though, that free tyre choice.
Okay, so both Fever and Lotus are on in laps at the moment, and the only other car on track at the moment is Geordie, who is on an out lap, although the game isn't recognising that at the moment.
Yeah.
And his teammate Wahid as well has just come out of the pits. So I imagine probably because Geordie's had some connection issues, he's a bit out of sync with the server. Hopefully it doesn't throw any timing issues during the race.
Yeah, wouldn't be staying too close with Lotus otherwise, so that's...
Yeah, he's got no ERS on, so he's definitely on an out lap, I think. Yeah, while we wait for the drivers to get to the start-finish line, let's have another look at the times. Yeah, there's just a second separates P1 down to P10.
Or P7 down to around P10. You see, there's little bit groups. See, like, P3 down to around P6, it's about the 700s, like I said. Then you've got P7 down to P10, and then you've got P11 and P12 altogether on 25.8s, and then...
Well, I think,
more spread up and down
looking at those times there, I think Potsy and Wahid have made mistakes on their laps. I think combined set that time on a medium compound. Yeah, you did.
He did. Yeah.
So, expect those guys to jump up to around the low 26s, high 25s as Geordie comes around the final corner to start his final flying lap with 2 minutes to go on the clock. So everyone's coming out of the pits now. I hope they're all staying out of his way. It's pretty busy out there at the moment.
This is the problem with starting a lap out of sync. Yeah.
And the racing point, yep, stays out of the way. Pretty tidy turn in there. Comes across turn 2, onto turn 3. Keeps it flat the whole way. Great stability in that Williams. Comes down the line. Oh, has he backed out? He has. He's backed out already.
That's going to hurt him. That's going to hurt him if he sets a lap on the next lap on those tyres. They're going to be very warm.
Absolutely. I'm going to jump to Wahid, who's just started a lap as well. Possibly Geordie's trying to give him a tow. Maybe that was the plan, and then he'll get one on the final flyer. There's a minute to go, so they could be doing it.
Wahid's way up. 700, sorry, my bad. Oh,
yeah, I think he had a mistake on his last lap, so...
Yeah.
So he comes out of turn 8.
This doesn't lap at the gods then,
the
okay.
Double apex, turns 9 and 10. Very tidy, no locking up. Good traction control. Comes across to the second DRS point. And no,
Jordan's just
staying out of the way. Turns into 11. Pretty tidy. Comes across to turn 12. Touches the curb, very risky, but does it. Oh, he's 1.7 up. That's going to put him around about 26 flat. He runs very wide on the exit of 12.
Oh, doesn't invalidate.
So
hang on.
Should jump Matsoy. There's a lot of traffic here. He's going to catch the racing point in the final corner. He will get a bit of a tow though from it. I don't think that would have slowed him down at all. Opens up the DRS. Let's have a look at his time. And 25.6, so he made 4/10 in that final sector, even with running wide. So that's a pretty solid effort from Wahid. And he cuts the track so that he can stay out of the way. So combined is the next one. P16 comes across the final corner. A little bit tardier than Wahid. Opens the DRS. And whoa, P7, 25.4. That was a great lap from combined.
Nice
Jump
time.
back, I think Matsoy. Pacey. 11. There he is, final corner. He's only 900s up, but at the moment it's going to jump him a few positions. Yeah, P7. Ends up finding a 10th there in the final one.
Big L 2 teams down.
Is it validated? Oh, no, that's Wahid. Looking at the wrong one. Wahid.
T-Mac with 25.4. Next one is a Haas. That will be Tanis. He's currently a 10th down on his time. I don't think he'll improve here.
So Fever's just behind Mikau as well. So Mikau ends sector 2. So Ferrari's gone off. There's 1.5 tenths up. Fever comes across the line. He's 1/10 down. Mikau at the moment, he's got to find a couple of hundredths in this final sector in order to get pole. But Fever at the moment is down on his best time. Mikau keeps tidy. Will he pick up a little bit of a tow? Opens the DRS. And Mikau's on pole. Made up a couple of tenths in that final sector. Fever comes into the pits. Mikau, I think, is our pole sitter. Going to jump on with Geordie. He's finished his lap. Jump on with Wahid and Renault going wheel to wheel.
Celebrating, perhaps. Yeah.
And that's qualifying.
Oh, that's a... Well, he got 5-place group penalty for that.
Oh,
Ooh.
for tapping the Renault.
Well, there's more to that. There's more to that then. Wow.
Is that combines AI or... Bandcamp?
No, it must be because he finished. Yeah. It says he's finished, but Wahid hasn't.
That's a bit weird. So I think Wahid let all the traffic go, but I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, so Wahid didn't retire. He just stayed lapping. All the other cars, as they finished, should have been converted to AI because they crossed the line after the session ended. So there must have been some sort of weird incident where the AI may have
How
hit
did he
him.
end up behind the AI then? Because
I'm not sure. He must have been letting people through. It must be it.
Yeah, because he pulled off the track because everyone was starting their final laps, but yeah.
He wouldn't have known who was on a lap and who wasn't, to be fair.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, I think everyone else is done. Just got to wait for Wahid to retire, and then we'll go through to our race session.
Great lap from Macau, yeah.
Absolutely, brought it right in that final run. Fever obviously making a mistake, and cost him pole.
Sid as well, third place. That's a great effort. I only have a driver into the 24s.
Right.
Nice of you to show up, Ellie.
Here we go. So McCallum pole with a 24.554, Fever P2 with a 124.679, and Sid, great time as well with a 124.913. We have 1 second separating P1 and I think that's P12. Just about.
P11,
so,
yeah.
Pretty solid competitive group we've got at the moment. Unfortunately, Potsy not looking like he got a clean lap in. Bandcamp just sneaky one at the end. So we do have Panda and PDR starting at the back, serving those quali bands.
People I'm most interested in are the people just outside the top 10 here. So that would be Trin and Matsoy, because Wahid has 5-place group penalty for some reason. And Pondon as well. That'd be interesting to look out for, because tyres are going to be pretty interesting around here.
Yeah, absolutely. So expecting a one-stop, medium hard for... And I'd expect most people to run soft hard as well. I'd be surprised if we're going to see 2 stops, unless there's some safety car intervention. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people start on.
Yeah, Bahrain's a bit weird. There's a few tracks that sort of hover around the state of soft hard, but medium hard's better because you don't have to worry about the wear. But with Bahrain, you can sort of stretch the soft tires a little bit. It really depends on how good your wear is.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're kind to your tires, the soft hard is the quickest strategy. But yeah, if you kill those tires too early in the stint, it's going to be very slow, and you will probably get undercut by the guys running soft medium, or medium hard as well. I would expect.
Yeah, and also if you end up getting caught up in battles and stuff, and just getting wheel spin out of corners, that sort of thing, that's all going to hurt your tires at the start. So people up front will just be wanting to get a good, nice first stint and stretch out as long as they can to safely go into the hard tire. We'll expect it at around lap 9 or 10, really. But the medium runners don't have to worry about their tire wear. That's the main thing for them.
Yeah, definitely. All right, as the drivers have altered their strategy.
And so everybody below the top 10 should be on mediums or others. And whoa.
Let me see. So I bring up the information. Yeah, so obviously top 9 all opting for soft. Trin is promoted to P10.
But he can still start on... How's he P10? Because Wahid was 12th.
Did someone else get a...
Oh, Geordie, because he's joined late, remember?
Oh, right, yes, and of course, even though he's had a good time, that's harsh. So he's starting dead last on used soft tyres.
So Geordie, because he joined the session late, there's a bug currently where if you join the qualifying session late, then you start last no matter what. But he's still counted as having to start on those soft tyres. So Trent obviously can just choose the mediums and he's still starting 10th.
Yeah, great. That's a good game for Trin. So obviously he's starting on the medium tyre. Matt Sweat opting for the soft. Pondon on the hard. Lotus on the medium. Pepsi on the hard. Bandcamp on the medium is starting 15th. Wahid starting 16th on the hard. Potsy with the medium. Panda and Peter both opting for the hard, so they're on the same strategy. Be interesting to see how that battle plays out. Can't seem to stay away from each other lately on the track. And Geordie P20 on the softs. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Ali predicting Jacob to DNF tonight, so...
Oh, okay. Yay.
F.
I'll see what I can do for you, Ali. I expect payment in full.
For those of you who don't know, Ali is the brother of Big Al, as he likes to remind us every week in chat. So thank you for your continued support, Ali. As the drivers are forming up on the grid, and it's pretty spread out. So Mikau and Phoebe are going to have pretty cold tyres, as the Williams and Geordie's only just about halfway down that final straight.
Can these hard and medium runners, can they stick with these soft runners for the first stint? It's the main thing, yeah.
Is it going to give me a decent head-on view of the grid?
Why would it?
No. I can get a rear view of the McLaren or a front-on view of the Racing Point. That's about it. Alright. Pulled up on the grid. Lights come on. And we're away. Racing Point gets a good start. The McLaren as well. Red Bull looks like it's got a little bit of a gain on the rest of them as they all start to spread. Oh, the Racing Point's gone and hit the Haas. The Haas is in the wall and Stars is out. Stars is DNF'd off the side of the Haas.
No way.
And we've got a full score safety car. We have Panda has a 5-second penalty. Pacey has a 5-second penalty. Pondon has a 5-second. I think about half of the grid has just picked up a 5-second penalty.
And Lotus lost his wing as well.
FIBA, Big Al, Pacey, Matsoid, Combined, Pondon, Apollo Pepsi, Panda, and Lotus all have 5-second penalties from collision on that start. That
so Atanas and Lotus.
Wow.
Well.
So yeah,
wow.
Atanas has lost 13 positions. Lotus has lost 6. Geordie has gained 7.
There's still more yellow flags rolling in.
There's still more people getting penalties. What is going on back there?
Ignoring yellow flag. Was that Delta? No.
Panda's got a 5-second for ignoring yellow flag. So obviously there's a bit of jostling for position going on behind the safety car. This is... Wow, I have never seen a race start quite like that.
I've seen Keeper DNF early, but this is different. This is... wow.
Alright.
And Geordie.
Geordie's up to P13. Doesn't have a penalty either. T-Mac's up to P6. Doesn't have a penalty. Let's have a look at those games. Yeah, Matsoid's up 4 positions. Geordie up 7. Pacey up 2. Ponton up 3. Pepsi 3. Wow.
So when they come into pit, if they do pit, will they serve their penalty?
I don't think they can under safety car. I think the way I've had it explained...
I've seen it happen before, though.
Yeah, if you're coming into the pits when the safety car is called, you can serve it. But yeah, I'd be interested to see. I'll just see if I've got that replay of the start.
Keep an eye on who's pitting while we do this.
And it looked like, I don't know if Stars at the back there got some oversteer. Yeah, he looks like he's just on like 4th gear. He's got massive snap of oversteer. And then we had, one of the Alfa Romeos as well. I think that must have been Lotus spinning as well. That's that's absolutely nuts.
So while that was happening as well, Geordie hit Wahid going onto the last straight there under safety car. So he's just coming for some more wing as well. Yeah, looks like Pandas served the penalty as well, or something.
Yeah, they are serving penalties, so Geordie's currently serving his.
That might be a good idea, actually.
It's, yeah, I mean, the fact that nearly half the grid have got 5-second penalties, it's probably... if they've got one, they should probably come in and serve it now while they can on a safety car just to get it out of the way. But, I would hate to be a steward and have to deal with this after the race. This is not going to be fun.
So crucially, Mikhail didn't get a pen, Sid didn't get a penalty, but Faber did. So Faber's in a really weird spot now.
Keith, I want to talk some smack, Jacob. He didn't appreciate that comment at the start at all.
Oh yeah, I did say that, didn't I?
Oh man, we love you, Keeper.
We do.
That was absolutely nuts. And now we've got a bit of a desync as well at the moment, so we'll just wait for them all to go through. Probably the start-finish line before that normalises, because we've currently got Lotus. There we go. It's just sorted itself out. Mikau is in front at the moment.
Lap count will normalise next lap as well. It's lap 2 currently, guys. Wow, this is probably the craziest start we've ever had. We've had a lot of crazy starts.
The only other start I can think that was kind of had this much of an incident at the start was in fact at Bahrain last season in Tier 2, where we had, I think it was, 5 wide going into Turn 1.
And then there was the CK going straight off.
Yeah, CK had a wheel failure and he just went straight on, and luckily Ghosted didn't take anyone out and copped a 10-second penalty by the game. Yeah. So, yeah, that's up there. But yeah, while we go around for another lap, I'll bring up the replay again just so we can analyse that a little bit further. So it looks like Stars initially had a pretty good getaway, but at the second phase of the start, he looked like when he was in about gear 3 or 4, he just loses the rear, just the wheels spun up, and he came across the track and hits the Haas DNS, and then it looks, I don't know how Lotus avoided that, but yeah, definitely at the back, his, yeah, Lotus has lost it as well as he's trying to avoid some of that collision, so, wow.
And everybody would have picked up penalties from the safety car coming out and then having to slow down for the Delta, and then people just checking up on others, and then you have...
Yeah, and I think as well a few people have been caught out by obviously others trying to maintain the Delta and shooting past each other, and you've got that 10-second window to give the spots back, but yeah, that's pretty nuts. And of course all this happening before the first round of pit stops. Every single one of those drivers is going to have to serve that penalty in the pit lane, so they're not going to be able to get those repealed after the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, some people are changing their strategies. Combine's just come in, a bit out of sync, but he's come in to serve his 5-second, which you shouldn't be able to do, but you're able to do for some reason. But he's gone to a 2-stop, so he's probably going to go soft, medium, medium here. Maybe soft, medium, soft, depending on how things go.
Yeah, but if he's bidding for another set of mediums now, he's probably going to go to a medium-hard strategy, because it's hard to tell. I mean, the mediums can probably go about half the race before they really drop off the cliff, so maybe he's going to go to 2 mediums.
Even it's a 2-stop. Yeah.
He has set 1 lap on his other set of mediums, though. So remember, he usually sets his first qualifying lap on the medium tyre.
He does. I never understood that, but yeah.
I guess it's a way you can save the soft tyres for the race, so you can run your mediums and they don't wear as much as the softs. So yeah, kind of get your eye in, but yeah, it does mean that he's going to have those roaded tyres. So at least they'll switch on a bit quicker.
Yeah, looks like Panda's on the same. Safety car's in this lap.
In this lap, we'll jump on board with Mikau to see where he's going to go. Alright, well, we didn't make it one corner without getting a safety car, so let's hope we can, yeah, get it to go a bit more. Mikau comes around the final corner, still hasn't gone yet.
Yeah.
Still hasn't gone yet. Starting
all
to
the
speed up
games
a
being
little
played
bit.
here.
And he's gone, that's it.
Nice, that's a great jump there.
I think he's got a little bit of a gain on Fever there. Obviously, a very long pit straight here. We're going to jump back a little bit. T-Mac looks like he's having a bit of battle on the AlphaTauri of Pacey.
Ben's taken by heat as well for 11th.
Didn't quite catch you there, but it looks like, yeah, back with the Williams of Wahid is... Oh, we've got 3, 4 wide going into turn 1. The Ferrari's up alongside of the Williams as well. A bit further back, we've got another Williams side by side with the Haas. Run down to turn 4, T-Mac and Pacey and Matsoid side by side. Oh, we've got a Haas round. Looks like Artanis has spun around at turn 4. Looks like there was a bit of contact there. Going to jump a bit further up because Lotus looks like he's side by side with Bandcamp. They had a bit of a run in on Friday night as well. Now 2010 series, we've got the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo side by side as well. Lotus versus Panda. A little bit further up to Bandcamp. Defending against Peter, who's made his way up to P13 on those hard tyres. Panda, unfortunately, not able to capitalise either with that messy start, and he's actually had a pit stop as well, so very unfortunate for him to get caught up in that again.
Yeah, the grid's sort of settling, the back half is still jostling though. So Potsy is right on Pepsi right now for 10th place.
Yeah, I'll jump up on board with them. Ferrari, the gearbox in the McLaren, thinks about going into it in the final corner, but decides to wait a little bit, get the toe. We've got Mikau second the fastest lap at 129.1. That will be improved for the next lap around.
Joy's second ahead here for 14th.
Potsy side by side as we go on the pit straight. Oh, they're so close together.
Ooh.
Nearly banging tyres as they cross the start-finish line. He's alongside, and Potsy gets the move done.
Yeah, nicely
Go a
done.
bit further back, we've got Panda alongside Lotus. Tries to switch back, gets a lot of curb at turn 1.
Yeah.
Can't quite get the move done.
Bring your head in, Panda.
Oh,
there's a lot of points on this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jump a little bit further up. Looks like Wahid under a bit of pressure from Combined.
Hard tyres not doing too well at the start here. But he didn't hit, it looks like. But he's still got that 5-second hovering over him as does a lot of the soft runners. I don't know, was a restart the right call? It might have been. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, as it looks like Mercedes at the back. Like he was a little slow out of the corner there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of restarting. Just jump up to the Haas on Potsy, pretty close behind.
Yeah.
I mean, big incidents happen in
It's a tough call.
motorsport, so I mean, in real life, that they're going to restart, so I don't mind if we don't restart, but yeah.
Oh, Seb's just telling me Panda has a broken front wing, apparently. And yes, he does.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's come when he's tried to get past Lotus. We know how hard Lotus tries to defend. Yeah, that's a real shame for Panda. He's coming to the pits. Yeah, it's a real shame. Like he's had a pretty horrid run in the race sessions.
He can still get there though. Hearts to the end, maybe, or.
So Wahid now all over the back of Lotus.
So,
I think Lotus might have just got past him on the straight. He's on the fresh softs. Jump a little bit further up. Peter's looking like he's pretty hungry to move up the grid. He's just on the back of Bandcamp. He's on those medium tyres from the start.
Macau's threatening to get out of the DRS range of Faber. That starts next lap. But they've both broken away from Sid and Big L, who have broken away from each other. So that's pretty key there for those guys.
Yeah, great start from the Red Bulls, though, to still be holding P3 and 4.
AC and Matsuid as well, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, it's great work from Red Bull and AlphaTauri.
But if I get down from Trin down to Potsy, actually, so top 8 sort of in their own wee thing right now, and then there's a big train there.
Yeah, looks like Peter's going to be sizing up Band for a move here on the pit straight. DRS is open. He's not quite using any of his energy yet. He's going to jump up to Pacey. He's pretty close behind Big Al. Big Al is just... No, he's out of DRS range of his teammate, so he's pretty vulnerable here to the sister team. Pacey not quite having the straight line speed about to get the move done. Jumping back to Bandcamp, who's getting passed by Geordie. Well, side by side.
There's a lot of jostling there, of course,
Absolutely.
Just as we cut away.
They go side by side through turn 4. And Williams just comes out in front.
Yeah, Combine wants a piece now on the outside here.
I think that might be team orders there. I think Combine has been let through by his teammate there. Probably the right call. Combine's on those fresh medium tyres. Band's are a few laps older, but Band is now vulnerable to Lotus again. So no love lost between these two. That's for sure. I'm just going to jump up a little bit higher. Looks like Apollo Pepsi is getting passed by Peter, who's absolutely storming through the field now after the safety car restart. A little bit of contact between the two cars, but he gets the move done in turn 11.
Yeah, play on and up until 11th now. He's getting really close to points now. So these soft runners, their softs are starting to go a little bit by around now.
Yeah, the safety car will have helped them last a little bit longer, which will probably help those who don't manage the tyres as well to try and make a one-stop work. As I think Lotus may have Bandcamp here. He's got DRS in the straight. Band's not got anyone in front of him to get the toe. There's two overtakes happening just in front as well. We've got a great shot there of them in front. No, Bandcamp manages to defend. Going to jump up to Polo Pepsi, who's run very wide.
He had a massive moment, yeah.
Now combined, really closing the gap now to the McLaren.
PCR grabbed Pondon as well for team place while that was happening.
Seb in chat, Big Al is the better brother. Shots fired.
Well, who's in tier 1? Sorry, Ali, we love you. And yeah, Mikhail was really pulled out a gap to Feber now, 2.6 seconds.
I think Feber must have made a mistake. So
yeah, he's
very
sliding.
similarly paced, but yeah, just watching now as combined with Darius open. Gets past Apollo pretty easily. Got a yellow flag. Looks like the Mercedes of T-Mac has spun at the exit of turn 11.
He was in a good spot. He didn't have a penalty.
He's pretty slow in the middle of the track. Doesn't look like he's got any wing damage, but he does have pretty cooked tyres. Side by side with Lotus, so they go through turn 12. Oh, he's nearly lost the rear again. I think those soft tyres are pretty well spent now.
Good control though to keep that in check, not cause an incident.
be surprised if we see him come into the pits, get those softs changed. Yeah, here he comes. Jump up a
You
little
can
bit
go for
higher.
hard. Yeah.
Bandcamp's got DRS now on Apollo Pepsi. But, oh, Lotus has a big look on the inside of Bandcamp, but he was too far back to get the move done. Jumping a little bit higher up. Pondon on
Geordie. They both just
off the
touched.
track.
Pondon got a bit of oversteer as they were going out into the DRS straight.
Yeah, there's no damage, but yeah, definitely came on board with them, and Williams was well off the track. Taking the Kimi Raikkonen line out there.
They did touch, but I don't think that caused Geordie going that wide. It was very weird, though.
And jump to Sid now, who's under a lot of pressure from his teammate. I think they're going to have to let Big Al through. He does have a time penalty. Oh, Big Al's still behind. I don't think this is a smart decision. Big Al's already got a 5-second penalty.
Now.
There we go. Yeah, he's let him... Oh, no, the side-by-side. They're fighting for position.
And look at Pacey. He's just waiting.
This is not wise. I mean, and he's lost it. Sid's lost the rear coming through turn 12.
I think Sid's just struggling with the soft tyres. That's really it with the deck.
Yeah, you don't want to be fighting your teammate, though, especially when one of you've got a 5-second penalty. Just let him go, make as much time up. You don't want to be battling because it's just going to hurt both your races. As yet, Sid does come into the pits. Drop you back a little bit further. We got Pondon, a bit of a train behind him. It's on those hard tyres. He's going to be under a lot of pressure. Down the pit straight. Geordie going for the move. Gets it done.
Combined? Is he sneaking in?
He's having a look on the outside.
He might be able to get a switch back.
Tries to on the inside, locks up a little bit. And yeah, the Renault sizing him up now.
Geordie may be vulnerable here to Pondon though. Oh, not quite.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too far back.
So a few people putting in. Lotus came in as well. He must have gotten... Oh no, he had softs, my bad. Fever also pit. He was struggling on those soft tyres, so probably a good call there. But he may have served his pin. He served his pin as well, so he'll drop 5 seconds as well from Mikhail.
Just jumping up to pace. He's got DRS on Big Al, but oh, he's so close. He's basically pushing him down the end of the straight, but still doesn't quite have the pace to get it done. Jumps to Pondon again, who's got DRS off Geordie.
I just saw Pacey nearly lose it on the penultimate turn there.
Yeah, those drivers starting on those soft tyres, they're going to be struggling for grip at the moment.
Mikhail's staying out, he's happy. Why wouldn't he be?
Fever's currently down to 15th on those hard tyres coming through.
Big Al, Pacey.
13 now, so...
Shouldn't be a contest there. Fever did have to serve the 5 seconds in the pits after all.
So Big Al, Pacey both in the pits at the moment. Pondon staying out on those hard tyres.
Stars unlucky, man. Just see him in chat there.
Yeah, very unlucky Stars. We'll jump back to Wahid, who looks like he's going to have a go at Bandcamp. Using his overtake, he definitely wants to get the move done here into turn 4. They go side. Oh no, he backs out at the last minute. Band runs a little bit deep. And the Williams, oh, a bit of contact. Wheel to wheel. And the Renault stays in front. Runs a little bit deep though. The Williams trying to switch back. So coming to the hairpin, they're side by side. Band squeezing him out onto the curb. A little bit of touching of tyres. And he holds position as they come round into turn 9 and 10. Double apex. Left-hander, little lock-up from the Renault. And he holds position. We'll see if Wahid is able to make any gains with the DRS. Not quite. Just jumping up to combine, is quite close to the back. Wahid, Pondon, sorry.
So Sid's also jumped to Fever in the pit stops because of not having the 5-second penalty. So it's Sid, then Fever, then Big Al, and then Pacey and Matsoid behind them. So let's see where Mikhail pops out in relation to these guys.
Mikhail has pit now. He's in the pits, taking those softs 11 laps. And we've got a Ferrari 1-2, Potsy, followed by Trent. And Peter just behind. This combined makes the move on Pondon. Gets it done. Mikhail's going to be a fair way back in the field. He comes out on the mediums. He may be trying to get those mediums to the end. So that safety car's really helped him with his strategy.
17 laps. Yeah, I suppose. Wow. Well, he's had good wear if he's taking the softs out that far.
Pacey having a move on Big Al. The pit straight. Gets done. Williams of Wahid. Nick out a second behind them.
I think this is a bit of a risky from Mikko, actually. He could safely just go into the hards, and he knows he's got the other car.
Wahid has a big moment. Exit of turn 8.
Yeah. Like, if he gets a puncture on the last lap, then it's... Oh.
I think he should be okay. There's 17 laps to go. Should just be fine. So Mikko does get past Wahid. There's a little battle pack forming at the front of the field between the two Ferraris and the Alfa Romeo. Bandcamp going defensive to Mikko, who's got so much more grip on those fresh tyres. He's already making the move. Oh, they're nearly touching tyres. Mikko wanting to squeeze Ben right across to his normal racing line, but Ben holding his line. But Mikko gets the move done in the final corner.
And Darius on Pepsi. That's the big thing.
Bandcamp having a look back at the racing point. So McLaren goes super defensive to the inside. Oh, this is not what Mikko will have been wanting.
But he's negotiated the drive as well.
Trin has got past Potsy for the race lead as well. Ferrari's doing a switcheroo at the end of that straight. Potsy now having to defend against Peter. This might be a bit of a strategy between the two Ferrari drivers. Potsy, obviously being a reserve driver this season, may be sacrificing his race position to help Trin in the championship.
Be holding a PTR as well. That'll be another thing. Ooh. So Potsy get a little bit squirrely, yeah.
So we've got a yellow flag. We've got a Mercedes off the track, it looks like.
Panda,
yeah, unfortunately, he's had a drama. Looks like he's
I did that last season as well.
Yeah, it's a tricky section of the track. He's going to jump up to Peter, who's so close to the back of Potsy now. So he comes down the pit straight.
PTR, he's... he can't really get it done here, though. Can he? Oh, hang on, though.
Trin's going defensive.
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Potsy and Trin are battling for position. Mikko sets the fastest lap of the race with 128.9.
There's a big red wall ahead of PTR, and he's going to crack it somehow.
Oh, it looks like Trin's picked up DRS from his teammate, and Potsy is now vulnerable to Peter, but he can't get it done. He has too little ERS to be able to get it done, but he's still trying. Had a little bit of overlap there, and is still slightly side by side, but the Ferrari does maintain position.
I'd be frustrated if I was in PTR spot.
Oh, absolutely. Because he's on the hard tyres, so he's going to be losing a fair bit of performance compared to those guys in front. Band's
also pit while this is happening. He's just popped out in 17th. It's a few seconds behind T-Mac.
Panda as well coming into the pits, obviously replacing his cooked tyres. Jumping back on board with Peter. Having a look at the Ferrari. Tries to run the outside of turn 11. Can't quite get it done. It becomes turn 12, and he's had to duck in behind. And the Ferrari holds position. Trin's lead is out to 6/10. Still vulnerable to the DRS that goes behind. He's going to want to try and get a little bit more.
Yeah, Mikko grabbed Pondon while that was happening as well, and Mikkel's just right behind combined while this is happening. But lap 14, what can PTR do here this lap?
Barely any DRS. Trin comes in. Which means Potsy still gets a DRS. With no slipstream.
PTR went a little deep, nearly touches Potsy.
Okay, so now Potsy's not going to get DRS on this straight. He will be vulnerable to Peter. He's not got much battery to work with. And
neither of them do.
Just going to jump a little bit further back. We've got Apollo Pepsi's got a little bit of a train forming behind him. He comes through turn 3 now. That's a pretty good exit. Oh, he's not going to get it done this lap. Of course, Ponton, Pepsi and Wahidi yet to serve their 5-second penalties from the start.
Yeah, once everybody pits, then everybody will serve them, yeah. No penalties otherwise. Bahrain's like that though, but that's still good to see.
still not able to close in on the Ferrari.
Yeah, Potsy's actually a bit quick, believe it or not. And these two, last season at Japan, epic battle. I'm sure PDR will want to get by here for that as well. And here we go on the outside of the last turn. And I think PTR will have DRS coming onto the main straight.
I wouldn't be surprised if Potsy pits here, and he does. Just following the lead of his teammate. He pit the lap before. Ooh, a bit choppy frame set. Yeah, apologies for that.
He's only getting quicker as Macau, 28.6, fastest lap of the race.
Absolutely, he's already up to P3 again.
And how far? Who's the next person? Well, I guess that's Sid. Yeah, Sid's next.
Some weird issues on my end. Apologies for that. So we've got the McLaren and the Red Bull side by side through turn 1 and turn 2.
Oh,
Red Bull has to get right out of it to avoid a collision there.
Yeah, they touched. They actually touched. They caused the Red Bull to go sideways, but he gathered it up pretty well. And that's for effectively P2.
Yeah, FIBA obviously losing a lot more time in traffic compared to Macau as Bandcamp gets past Artanis, who's just come out of the pits. Lotus was sizing him up for a move, but Band's able to get that car between.
Yeah, so if you're just joining now, basically, Stars went sideways at the start. There was a safety car straight away. 75% of the grid picked up a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, apparently, and it was massive. But here we are now, lap 60 to 29. Most people will serve their penalties in the pits. Most will be going to the end, still waiting on a few people. PTR, Geordie, not Geordie, from behind. Pondon and Vahid all yet to pit.
Peter has come into the pits now, followed by Geordie. And Mick takes the lead of the race. Looks like we've got the Haas of Pondon coming into the pits as well. And jump down to Wahid, I think, staying out, but he's going to be passed by FIBA. It's done pretty easily before the braking zone. So now Wahid's going to be pretty vulnerable to Sid here. Stayed out for 16 laps on these hard tyres. He's probably going to come... Oh, we've got T-Mac, I think, has gone round. Is that T-Mac?
No, that's Panda.
Panda's gone round again. It's unfortunate.
Not what you need.
Had a great race, yeah. Jumping back to Bandcamp, who's being overtaken by Tanis in the pit straight. Gets the move done pretty comfortably as the other Haas has come out just in front of his teammate there. And there's a fair train forming behind Pacey here for P6. Got Big Al, Peter and Potsy all within DRS range behind him. Interesting to see what happens between Pond and Artanis. Both of them on reasonably fresh medium tyres. Get precedence there.
Yeah, same strategy. Geordie's done well to play himself into this. Now, he started 20th, up to 13th after all their craziness. Had 5 seconds for hitting his teammate coming into the pits.
Got Big Al having to go defensive on Alpha Romeo. There's a bit of contact through the corner there, and Peter goes right up on the curb. It's through.
The yellow flag is Panda pitting, but that's the 7th. They're still fighting. PTR on the inside here.
Yeah, side by side coming through the last corner. Peter goes first. I don't know who will have picked up the DRS there. Now Potsy having a look at the Red Bull.
Yes, Potsy
as well.
And the momentum, he's right up on PTR because
still behind him. Potsy having a good look at Peter, who goes super defensive on the pit exit. And there's a little bit of contact between the two. They've all got DRS now. Pacey in the front there. A little bit far for them to get a move, but yeah, Peter's on a charge. Definitely with those fresh mediums. He'll be looking to the very least get past Pacey. Maybe looking at Sid as well. And of course, Wahid is yet to pit.
Ryan's just hopped in for fresh meds, as predicted. Yeah, combined. Oh, sorry, Wahid, last one to pit. Still has that penalty, of course. Should be dropping down a fair bit, most of the field, really, yeah.
Peter's looking super aggressive. I think he's going to try and get a move on Pacey here at the end of this Sector 2 straight. Yeah, goes to the inside line. Turn 11, side by side. Pacey holds the outside, which becomes the inside for turn 12. A little bit of contact between the two. Peter forced out onto the curb. Sid picked up a penalty there. Another bit of contact between the two cars. And Pacey squeezes him right out onto the exit curb at 13.
Shades of Abu Dhabi last season. Yeah, that was a bit rough, but play on. And Sid, that's the first penalty in 18 laps, 19 laps. Wow.
As Wahid finally pits. Let's get rid of those old hards. He'll get going for the softs at the end of the race. As Peter now gets squeezed by Pacey right against the pit wall. Michael Schumacher style. He goes at him again. Oh, and Peter gets the move done.
Pacey lost out big time there. That's 2 spots.
Yeah, Potsy got the move done as well. That was very opportunistic from him.
And Big Al's also not too far off these guys as well. And Geordie behind him, fastest lap of the race. 28.5, I think it was.
Jump back to Hans Bandcamp. Under pressure from the McLaren of Apollo Pepsi coming into turn 4. Oh, McLaren sweeps around the outside, gets the move done pretty comfortably. Bandcamp looks like he's struggling on those hard tyres. Don't know if they're switched on yet as Lotus picks up a 3-second time penalty just behind him. And we'll just jump up to our penalties. Yeah, so 3 seconds for Sid, 5 seconds for Pepsi, and 3 seconds for Lotus. So apart from that first lap, everyone's been pretty clean.
Ooh.
It's been good to see, and it is a track where it's pretty easy to rack up the penalties, running wide on those exit curbs.
I wonder if Pepsi got the 5 second. Yeah, I totally missed that. Oh, let's have a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he didn't serve the one that he got at the start, or if it's a different one, maybe if he's beating in the pits or something like that. But...
So just open Race Director. I'm going to take a screenshot of this because this is great. So there's about 14 different 5-second penalties here. So they're all colliding. That's what happened.
It must have been a Constantina effect on the safety car. Everyone's trying to slow down for the Delta as Big Al gets past Pacey going into turn 1. So it looks like the AlphaTauris have lost out a little bit in this later part of the race. They were right up there on the back of the Red Bulls. But yeah, it looks like Potsy and Peter definitely taking advantage of the time penalties.
Yeah, I'm not seeing his incident. So the only thing Pepsi got was at the start for the collision. So
the game mustn't have let him serve it in the pits then. That's interesting.
Well, either way, he has to serve 5 seconds, so he's not on the back foot or anything. But...
Yeah, it'd just be applied post-race, so...
In fact, he would have gained an advantage, wouldn't he? By jumping everybody else that had to serve it. But he's on 15th anyway, so I'm not too sure, but anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. We got the 2 Haas drivers still battling for 13th and 14th. So it looks like they haven't really held each other up, because they have dropped off a little bit of the back of T-Mac, but they've pulled a bit of a gap on Apollo Pepsi there in 15th.
So everyone seems to be sorted on tyres, maybe bar Lotus on 11 lap mediums currently, but he should be able to just crawl back on those. He's got a penalty to heat behind, so... T-Mac's done pretty well to recover back up to 12th after
after that spin.
He's on hard, so he's a bit vulnerable to whoever's behind him, but he's still doing okay.
Yeah, I think he had to pit slightly earlier than everyone else around him because of that spin. It's not the right Ferrari that I wanted to look at. Potsy is under a bit of pressure from Big Al. So obviously Big Al was in P4 early in the race, just behind his teammate. A bit further back, we've got the Williams and the AlphaTauri battling for P7.
Yeah, Geordie, fresh meds, eyeing it all up. And PTR's doing really well. He's getting very close to Sid, actually.
Yeah, and of course Sid has that 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits, so regardless if he passes him the track or not, he should be on the podium.
Yeah.
And Mikau is pretty dominant on those medium tyres. Gap's now 14 seconds out in front as he sets another fastest lap with a 128.4.
See more of those laps as the fuel load does burn down a little bit more. Geordie is right on Pacey. The grip difference is so clear.
Yeah, I think he's going to be having a go at him. He's already alongside, slightly further back. And yep, it's already up to P7 now. Looks like Big Al doesn't quite have the pace to get Potsy, but Potsy is going very defensive. Oh, and they're side by side. Just gonna jump up to the Ferrari. Has the outside for turn 2 and has to tuck in behind the Red Bull. He may have lost DRS here as well. Yeah, the Ferrari doesn't have DRS, so the Williams Geordie is going to be capitalising on this. Takes the inside of the Ferrari. Oh, he can't quite get up far enough.
Yeah, nicely done by the Ferrari there to keep it that deep. Yeah.
Potsy's still having a look at Big Al. He's on much fresher hard tyres, so theoretically he should be able to get the position back pretty quickly, but they are going to be dropping quite a way off Peter, who's already within DRS and Sid now.
Yeah, should make short work of him. Sid will want to hold on as much as he can for DRS though.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite close enough to get him this lap, so we'll stay on board with Potsy. So a bit of pressure from Geordie. Just on that straight, he's gained nearly a 10th and a half there. It's going to jump up to Peter, who's within a couple of tenths of the Red Bull. He should get him on the pit straight here into turn 1. Feber's only a second and a half in front of them as well, so P2 could still be on the cards for Peter here after starting dead last. He gets the move done.
Feber's got it all to do here, yeah, especially on old hards.
Jumping back with Big Al now. He's getting passed by Potsy again, going into turn 1, and the Ferrari makes pretty light work of him there. Not as difficult as getting past the lap before. Now the Ferrari doesn't get DRS on the next straight. The Williams Geordie has a look, and the Red Bull gets back past the Ferrari, but he runs a bit deep. The Ferrari now gets him on the inside, and the Williams sniffing around. Any little mistake.
Yeah, Potsy
going side by side through the hairpin. The Williams is going to get the better traction on the exit. No, but the Red Bull does stay in front.
Oh, I've just dropped back down to T-Mac, Artenis and Condon. T-Mac's jumping all over the place, and this isn't good for the Haas drivers. Because they're trying to guess where he is on track, and...
Yeah, I can see him on the map. He's jumping around a lot.
But yeah, Potsy, I was just about to say, he's doing really well to hold on to 5th here. This has been really good defensive driving from him.
Absolutely. We might have to jump up to Peter in just a second. He's right on the back of the McLaren of Feber, so this will be for P2 of the race. McLaren goes super defensive, darts to the inside where the pit ball is. Peter closing, still 3 tenths behind. Sid hanging on to the DRS as well, but he probably won't get in the next straight. It's just outside the range. There's Big Al and Potsy going side by side again. Big Al gets the position, but the Williams as well of Geordie alongside the Ferrari. He gets the position. And Peter's not quite going for the move just yet, so we'll stay on board with the Ferrari. And Williams... He's got no energy left in his battery, but he has a bit of a dive, but locks his brakes to back out of it at the last minute.
Yeah, just coming down towards the end of the race now, and it looks like those Red Bull guys have really held position pretty well, 4th and 5th. They've done pretty well. The only thing they really led by was PTR, but can't stop such a good charge, I suppose, as teammate gets 3 seconds.
Yeah, he's jumping all around for me. He was P20 just before, so yeah, he's definitely got some connection issues.
Not been Mercedes Day, has it?
Feber just holding on to P2. There's 4 laps to go, though. I don't think with Peter's pretty fresh mediums, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on for much longer. To see how much time Peter gains in the braking zones. So McLaren tries to weave to break the toe.
Yeah. They both saved up pretty well in the ERS.
I think Peter might be saving fuel and energy here. He doesn't need to get the move done now. He can leave it a few more laps. Just going to jump back to Big Al again, who's under pressure from the Ferrari yet again. Potsy taking the inside into turn 1. Has to leave a bit more space to the Red Bull this time. He's got the outside line for turn 2. The Red Bull stays in front, but the Ferrari should have DRS on him. The Red Bull doesn't have it. Neither do, yeah. That's weird.
I don't know.
They're side by side.
Are they trying to confuse us?
The Red Bull's taking the outside line. The Ferrari does the inside. We've got the Williams as well. hang in on the inside. Oh, and there's broken wing.
Geordie.
Geordie has gone up the back of the Red Bull, has broken his wing.
So Geordie was right up on his gearbox. It just couldn't break early enough compared to Big Al.
And of course,
that's how it
with the Williams, of course, having better grip, he can go a bit deeper into each of those corners and carry a lot more speed through that twisty sector too. And yeah, obviously not expect the Red Bull to slow down that much. And yeah, picked up a penalty as with Fever and Peter so close together. He's not going to get it done right at the moment, but I think this is the closest we've seen them. Jumping back a little bit further to Matzoid and Trin, battling heading into turn 11. Not quite going to get it done yet.
The thing is, because PTR has had a chance to save, so has Fever is the thing. So Fever might just have enough to defend each time around.
Yeah, quite possibly. It really depends on their setup, but yeah, you'd think that Peter's medium tyres would have a bit more life in them than they seem to. I wonder if maybe he's cooked them a little bit too much trying to get past someone else, but he is having to dart back and forward across the track. Trying around the outside of turn 1. McLaren holds his line, squeezes the Alfa Romeo right up into the curb. Goes through turn 2 side by side. McLaren this time gets pushed right up into the curb. Turn 3 side by side. And then McLaren has DRS this time on the straight. So he will hold position. He's got the inside line as well, so should be able to squeeze the Alfa Romeo out onto the curb, and that's exactly what he does. And holds position again. Going to jump back a little bit further now. Big Al and Matzoid almost getting past it that time. Where's Matzoid? Oh, Matzoid's a bit further back, getting passed by Trin. So Trin has got the move done, but Matzoid comes back at him. I think the Ferrari's got that position done this time. So Sid is now within a second of Peter as well, so he's been able to get back within DRS as this time Peter goes for it into turn 11. The side-by-side McLaren takes the inside line again, squeezes him out. Will become the inside for turn 12 for the Alfa Romeo. They nearly banged tyres there. McLaren right out on the outside. There's great respect between those two. Lots of racing room given. Alfa Romeo gets squeezed onto the curb, bangs tyres again, and the Alfa Romeo nearly loses his rear, but they're side by side as they're coming down straight towards the final corner. The Alfa Romeo has the inside line, but who's going to get DRS? Who's going to get DRS? And look how close Sid is now. He's now within half a second because neither of them wanted to be in front at the detection point. The Alfa Romeo has it. Alfa Romeo has it. So Peter's got the position, I think, this time. Yeah, the McLaren tucks into the slipstream now, and I think Peter's got it, but the McLaren sends it down the inside, and there's a little bit of contact. The McLaren has to recover.
That was brutal. And Sid crawled into this while this is all happening. Sid's got that penalty mine, so now he's probably safe from Trin. Oh, sorry, Potsy in 5th place.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Potsy's having to defend from Geordie as well, and he's still in front, so Geordie not being able to get the move done. As we see the Haas drivers swapping positions down in P12 and P13. They've been allowed to race. As long as they both finish the race, I'm sure Gunter will be happy.
Race they have, yeah. Just PTR and right.
We've got the Williams of Geordie. He's really struggling with that broken wing, but he's under pressure from Pacey now.
He's holding on. That grip from the medium tyres alone.
Dropped out of DRS range of Potsy though, so Potsy is clear. And so Geordie will be vulnerable to the Alpha Tauri and the Red Bull Big Al just behind. I don't think he's going to get it done this turn, but this is also going to be holding up Pacey. He'll want to have a go at Potsy. He is on slightly fresher tyres though, so every lap is stuck behind the Williams. It's going to be hurting. Meanwhile, the gap to the lead is now out to 16.7 seconds. Mikau is just basically having a lazy Sunday drive at the moment out in front.
Yeah.
Jumping up to Sid and Fever.
Both of them.
Sid's just in front, but oh yeah, Fever manages to get the position.
Wow, nice.
Sid will have DRS on the next straight. So meanwhile, Pacey has got past Geordie. And yeah, Sid not able to get back at Fever on the next straight.
Fever actually picked up DRS there, but yeah.
Oh, Lotus has retired. He's lost it on, what's that, the exit of turn 12. Yeah, he would have spun to the inside. We have this yellow flag in that sector. I'll see if I can jump on board with T-Mac. Yeah, you can see the Alfa Romeo's lost it and spun to the inside. And DNF'd on the curb.
Seen that a few times. Kunai in Season 3, I remember most notably, yeah.
And there's Fever now under pressure from Sid again. We'll run into turn 11. Red Bull taking the outside line. McLaren defending the inside, but yeah, he's struggling on those hard tyres, runs a little bit deep. And it looks like
If they keep fighting, Potsy's going to be right in this.
Yeah, he's currently 4 seconds behind, so he's got another second to find on Sid in order to gain the position after the penalties applied. As Pacey's picked up a 3-second penalty as well, so that's yeah, unfortunate for him.
2 spots there, yeah. Last lap.
Sid in the tow of the McLaren. He's got barely any energy left. He's actually run out completely. But
Stay behind
Bieber as well has got very little left as well. McLaren goes defensive into turn 1.
Trent's making moves down to 9th. Oh, never mind, my bad. That's Pacey and Jordan.
Red Bull's got DRS open. He's using overtake. This is going to be a last lap dive into turn 4. It is. It leaves him room. He's got no overtake left.
No, he's just going to stick behind. He's not fighting for position right here.
Oh, if I get it done, I'm going to jump back to Pacey, who's been forced off track there by Big Al. The latter is run deep into turn 4, but yeah, Big Al is now in front of Pacey.
Potsy's 3.3 seconds behind now 3.4.
Fever under pressure again from Sid in the final DRS straight. Goes super defensive. Sid pulls out to the outside, tries it around. Turn 11, bit of contact. T-Max gets the fastest lap of the race, 127.9. Oh,
he touched the
curb. He touched it. Yes, yeah. The Red Bull's got around as Mick is about to cross the finish line. And he wins the race by about 14 seconds. And yeah, we've got Sid has gone around.
Right. Yeah, he's still in the points
now. Peter comes across the finish line in P2. And Fever obviously comes across the line in P3, but I'm sure there'll be a look at that incident with Sid. Potsy, a great defensive drive by him, finishing P4. Big Al getting P5. Yeah, looks like Pacey not happy with his position. Combine's actually retired on the final corner. And yeah, he's lost it on the exit of the final corner and spun to the inside of the track and DNF'd it on the wall.
Did he leave him? Was he in points? Wow.
He was 11th, so I don't think he was in points.
Okay, phew.
And Polo Pepsi, 5-second post-race penalty, and Bandcamp jumps him up to P14. And I think we've got T-Mac going for another fastest lap by the looks of it. He's purple in the second sector. And Panda's AI is a little bit behind there as well.
Yeah, Sid didn't need to fight.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up that replay as well. I think I caught a little bit of it. And yeah, so Sid tried to go the inside and McLaren blocks him. Moves back to the outside. Sid tries to go around. And yeah, just looked like the... Oh, yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle. Couldn't quite catch much of the incident from there. As Peter gets driver of the day. Obviously, yeah, last position. Finishing on the podium in P2. Great drive by him. And yeah, fantastic drive by Mick. Pretty commanding lead. Once he broke the DRS from Feber, that was a pretty straightforward drive from him by the looks of it.
Yeah, avoided the chaos at the start. There's nothing else you can say, really.
Yeah, so great drive from Peter as well, P2. And P3 was that Feber in P3, I think?
Yes.
At the end it was, yes. And then, of course, we got Potsy in P4, Big Al P5, Geordie P6. Pacey 7th, Trina 8th, Sid 9th after that spin on the final lap, battling for P3. Matzoid rounds out the points. And we've got Artanis, Pondon, Wahid, Bandcamp, Polo Pepsi, T-Mac combined, and Panda, Lotus, and Stars not finishing the race. Wow, and of course T-Mac setting the fastest lap of the race with the 127.949. So yeah, pretty entertaining race. That was an absolutely crazy start. I think Nut in the chat said that it reminded him of Spa back in Season 2 when we had about half the grid get wiped out at Radion. It wasn't quite that bad, but yeah, definitely a lot of penalties getting thrown up there as well. Jacob, would you be able to see if our podium drivers are able to jump up for a chat?
Sure thing. Just
Thank you. As we wait for Jacob to grab us some people to talk to. Let's have a look. We've already got yeah, we've got Stars self-reporting for the race start.
And we have Mikhail here.
And there we go. Mikhail, first of all, congratulations on a race win. Man, after you broke DRS...
Yeah, for real this time.
Absolutely, definitely got to get this one, I think. Yeah, once you broke DRS from FIBA, it just looked like you had complete control of that race and weren't under too much pressure.
Yeah. You know, obviously, very, very shocked with the start. You know, my teammate making it about 30 meters is never good. But no, from our side of the garage, it was pretty clinical. You know, both in the qualifying and in the race. Bit of a scare with FIBA's time, but you know, I've done faster in the past, and you know, put the lap together when it mattered. I missed the apex of turn 10 a little bit on that lap, but it didn't cost me too much. In terms of the race, yeah, the only real pressure I had after I broke DRS to FIBA was the tires. They were a bit of a struggle, but aside from that, it was pretty smooth sailing.
Were you always planning to do the soft medium, or was it just because of the safety car you're able to stretch the softs out a little bit longer than normal?
My game plan for Bahrain is always, if there's a safety car in the first stint, you do the soft medium, because the difference between the mediums and the hards is unbelievable. Like, I was saving tires. I forget the number, like the lap number or whatever, but I remember I was saving tires, like, you know, lean mix, you know, taking it nice and easy through the corners, about, you know, 3 to 4 tenths off what my normal race pace is, and I'm still pulling away from FIBA by, you know, a good 3-4 tenths. So the mediums are just so much better, and if that means you have to manage your tires a little bit throughout the race, then so be it. So yeah, as soon as the safety car came out, I was like, okay, yeah, softs till lap 11, lap 12, and then mediums to the end.
Yeah, it was a great strategy. And were you worried at all when you had a bit of traffic after that pit stop? Because I think you came out of the pits around about P13, 14. You had quite a few cars to get past. Were you worried at all coming back through those guys?
I wouldn't say worried, but I knew that I needed to lose as little time as possible, you know, just to keep my rhythm up, keep the momentum going, just in case something were to happen, you know, at the, you know, at that stage of the race. Like, if a safety car came out at that stage of the race, I honestly don't know what would have happened, but you know, luckily it didn't, and yeah, just try to get through the traffic as quickly and as cleanly as I could.
Absolutely. Oh, congratulations again. We'll let you go. So thank you so much for joining us, and well done.
That's right. Thank you.
Right.
Jacob, just conscious of time, Jacob. You've got about 5 minutes until the tier 2 starts, so we might hold off the rest of the interviews for now so you can get ready. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for the tier 1 race. Thank you, Jacob, for joining me in the commentary box. We'll take a short 5-minute break, and we'll be back for the tier 2 race. Thank you.
Cheers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 4 here at Sakhir for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Of course, famously last season, Romain Grosjean had that fiery crash on the opening lap. And we saw a very similar incident in the T1 race a little bit earlier, so hopefully in Tier 2 here it'll be a little bit tidier. We'll run through the track details now. It's 5.4 kilometres, 3 DRS zones. 15 corners of plenty of action, as we saw in Tier 2 last season. Quite a number of highlights here. We had from turns 1 to 4, Decelerate, Newell and Keeper battling hard. We had Decelerate move across in the braking zone, hitting Newell, who ran super deep alongside the Ferrari driver in turn 1. And almost got past him by the end of the straight. And a DRS on him out of turn 3, going alongside him into turn 4. And didn't quite get the exit he needed to get out in front of the Ferrari driver there. In the same race, turns 2 to 4, we had Hobbsy versus Keeper. Hobbsy just losing the rear a little bit in the exit of turn 3 and taking out the Ferrari. The incident was almost identical to the one of Romain Grosjean in real life last year. Turns 8 to 10, we had a battle between Smitty, Skins and Bully on board here with the Haas driver. You can see the McLaren and the Alpha Tauri going side by side out of the hairpin into the double apex left-hander of turns 9 and 10. The McLaren running slightly deep, Skins having to get right on the brakes and getting passed by both Smitty and Bully. And of course another tricky turn of turn 11. Jacob Meister coming together with Psycho and spinning to the inside. Turn 11 to 12, where we're going to see quite a few spins, I think, in qualifying and potentially the race as well. As we're about to jump on board with the drivers who are coming out of the pits for their qualifying runs. And I'm joined in the commentary box by Bandcamp. How are you?
Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. And yourself?
Pretty good, thank you. Pretty intense race a bit earlier in Tier 1. I don't think 5 minutes was enough of a cooldown for me. I don't think. I'm still stuck in the big ones.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a heated race. But yeah, could have got a better result, but unfortunately went on to the hards at the end, which didn't help me. But either way, Skins is now starting his first flying lap for qualifying in the fellow Renault.
Absolutely, jumping on board with him as he comes into turn 1. And we noticed in the Tier 1 qualifying session that a lot of the top drivers are getting right across and basically getting as much out of the track limits as they possibly can. Basically spending most of their time on the straights with their left tyres in the gravel. And just keeping their right tyres inside that white line, which constitutes the track limits.
Yeah, you get that a lot when there's large runoff areas on tracks like this.
Yeah, you don't seem to lose any time at all for sticking those tyres out onto the dusty part of the track, because it's all essentially concrete. Still a fair bit of grip, and Skins making a similar mistake to in the preamble while we were waiting for the session to load. Ran a bit deep into turn 10, which is going to compromise his run all the way down to turn 11 here. Short shifting through the mid corner, turns in for 12, then a little short shift. Double shift as well as he comes out of 12 there, 13. We get a little bit of a toe from the Mercedes as he comes into the final corner. And our benchmark time for the session as he comes across the line is a 126 flat.
Not bad at all.
Lights set to 126.1 and Psycho 126.8. So yeah, pretty solid time. Hero setting 125.8. As the Renault cuts the corner to get out of everyone's way. And jump on board with, I think they've got the racing point of Jacob Meister is on a lap. In the second sector, Batemate goes on pole with the 125.7.
Vasa, the only person to head out on the medium so far.
Yeah, we saw Combine do that as well in a Tier 1 race. Seems it's a strategy for a driver to get their eye in during qualifying and keep a set of softs for the race. Jacob Meister coming into the final corner now. He's been quite a solid performer in qualifying so far this season. quite been able to convert it for every race, unfortunately. And he comes across for pole with a 125.7. Great race by, great qualifying lap by him. Jumping back on board with Keeper, who's coming around at turn 13 now.
Gee, there's a lot of cars right in that middle sector at the moment.
I think most of them are on in-laps. I think Keeper's the only one on a flyer. Nuts on an out-lap. As Keeper comes across the line, sending 126.5 for P10. And we'll jump on board with Nut, who is... that is Nut, yes. Gone pretty slow through the middle sector. There's all of our drivers in the final corner coming into the pits. And pretty much everyone went out straight away on as soon as the session started, so Nut will have the track all to himself for this lap. And we'll stay on board with him for the duration.
Yeah, everybody else piling into the pit, so that's a busy pit lane at the moment.
We do have a Ferrari staying out. Looks like Sakhir is going for another lap, or perhaps he's just finished the second one. It didn't improve by the looks of it. Might just be doing some practice as Nut comes around the final corner. And AlphaTauri of Vasa as well in the medium tyres, just doing a few laps to warm up. Nut a bit deep, locks up both the front tyres into turn 1, takes a lot of curb for turn 2, doesn't quite use as much of the track as he could through 3. Focus DRS on the straight as he comes into turn 4, braking at about the 75 metre mark, turning in, taking a lot of curb, and a bit of lock up on the right hand side, doesn't quite use all the track on the outside. Through 5, as he comes through the twisty section of 6 and 7, taking a lot of curb on the inside, takes too much curb on, and he's gone round. Too much curb, Van Camp.
Yep.
And
didn't take any wall though, so...
No wall, no, he's kept it out of the wall. No damage to his wing. We'll have a quick look at that replay. See, just... as he comes out of 4, it looks alright, but conservative, but he's just taken too much curb. I think that's turn 7, turns in, and it just got stuck on that inside, and he's overcorrected, lost the rear, and it snapped around on him. So, Nut's lap is done. So, let's turn the energy off. He's got plenty of battery left, so he might just, if he's got enough fuel, he'll go around for another lap. We'll see how he goes. Conrad looks like he's done an out lap and then come straight back into the pits, so I'm not sure if he's forgotten to take the fuel out of the car. Let's see how he goes. Keeper looks like he's on a flying lap at the moment. So it looks like he's using the same set of tyres he did his first flying lap on. They're currently 2 laps old, so not expecting this to be much of an improvement, if any. He's currently the only one on a flying lap at the moment on track. And not really using an extent of the track limits allows through that final corner. Most drivers taking a wide line as he does come to the pits now. Most drivers take a wide line there at the final corner just to maximise the amount of speed they can carry through that corner. As Mr. Spicer is on a lap on the medium tyres. Haas has spun around the same spot that Nut did on that previous flying lap. Interestingly, both Williams drivers are opting to use the medium tyre.
Yeah, it'll be... they've set pretty good times, so it'd be hard for them to improve.
Of course, here at Bahrain, preferred strategy would be medium hard if you're quick enough on the medium tyres, or you start outside the top 10. We did have an interesting chat with Mikau after his race victory slightly earlier, saying that his usual play for Bahrain is if there's a safety car at the start of the race, go from soft directly onto mediums and just use the fuel mix and turn it down to lean with corners just to preserve the tyres a bit more. So really great insight there, so thank you to Mikau for sharing that with us after the race. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if some of the other drivers have picked up on that, if that alters their strategy at all. I expect most of these guys will be coming doing their times in the softs by the end of the session. Still got about 8 minutes to go, so I think they're mostly going to be warming up and just seeing how competitive they are on the slower tyre. Spicer doesn't improve. There's a few seconds down. In fact, Quantum Effect has gone off at the same spot that Nut had his spin in Sector 2. So it just looks like on the exit of turn 7, he's lost it and spun to the infield. Going to jump on board with his teammate Wingman. We'll just have a look at him on the left-hand side. No, the car's disappeared by the time he's come through. So disappointing for him. He has set a time good enough for P4 at the moment with the 126 flat. In Tier 1, that would have been good enough for around about P10, 11. So we'll see as the session unfolds if that's going to keep him in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll probably still scrape into the top 10. 26.0 is a pretty good time.
Yeah,
also, Mickey just improved from 13th to 12th.
Yeah, currently the cutoff is 126.5, so any slower than that and you are out of the top 10. Hero sets pole provisional for 125.686. And Wingman goes pole with 125.608, so he's 800ths of a second quicker than Hero there. Great time. And currently going to jump on board with Psycho down in P15 at the moment with 126.868. So comes through the second sector. Currently 6/10ths up, so that will put him up into P9 if he can maintain that improvement.
Maybe he can find a little extra in the final corner.
That'll knock Mika out if that's the case. Pretty tidy. Looks like it could have quite carried a little bit more speed through that final corner, but it comes across the line. P10, so he lost a little bit of time there in that final corner, but has pushed Mika out. And Nut currently on a lap after having that spin earlier on. He's got Jacob Meister just behind him as well on a lap, so we'll jump back with him once Nut completes this one. Red Bull getting out of the way on the back straight. Yeah, Nut having to shift down to third gear to take turn 13. Quite getting his line right there through turns 11 and 12. Runs very deep in the final corner. Doesn't invalidate, but he does spin, and he's in the wall. Too much curb, too much wall, and too much DNF as well. So unfortunately for Nut, that's his session done without setting a time.
Lights, he was up, and he does improve by almost 3/10ths up into 6th place.
Jacob Meister crossing the finish line now, and does not improve. He was 900ths of a second down on his time. Just going to jump onto that replay of Nut. We did catch him spinning it at the final corner. And I just saw he applies the brakes. It didn't look like he kept the brake on. He looked like he just released it and ran super deep onto the curb. And yeah, it was a bit weird. His tyre seemed to blow up a good second and a half after the contact with the wall, but that's Codemasters for you. We'll jump on board with Batemate, who's just starting a new lap, coming through the first chicane.
Can we get an F in the chat for Nut?
They're pushing pretty hard. Comes through the first sector. Is 100th of a second down on his time. A little bit tardy into the right-hander of turn 8. Comes into turn 9, 10, double left-hander. No lock-ups. Pretty tidy on the exit, gets the acceleration down pretty quickly. The Alfa Romeo staying out of the way there. Comes down towards turn 11, using all the track limits there. Turns in nicely, carries a lot of speed, touches that outside curve a little bit. Rear unsettled. Comes through turn 12 as Mr. Spice has picked up a 5-place grid penalty for a collision there. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think that was a collision with Conrad by the looks of it at the pit entry. As Williams, the Batemate, has backed out. He has backed out of his lap. Looks like he may not have been improving enough to justify completing that one, and he comes into the pits. Got Mr. Spicer is... I'm not sure, does he have damage? He does. So he's got right end plate is missing, so it looks like he's going to start his lap. And he's had a collision with Conrad there at the pit entry, so I wonder if maybe he's gone a bit slow trying to get back into the pits, and they've come together. Well, it's very unfortunate for Mr. Spice, who's shown some pretty good pace in the last few races. Hopefully he's able to put in a good time. Oh, he's got 3 minutes. He's going to struggle to get back, I think. That's not quite enough time. Jump aboard with Mickey down in P14. He's currently there with a 126.5. Have a look at that time difference between P1 down to P14. It's just 1 second. Great competitiveness in this Tier 2 grid.
Yeah, very much so. And I don't think Mr. Spice is going to have enough time to come into the pits and get back out again.
It's a 1 minute 25 lap when you push, and he's got to get wheeled into his garage and then change his tyre set. That's going to really push it. He's going to have to push his tyres pretty hard to get around for another lap. And
he's not going to make it. Unfortunate there.
So yeah, Conrad has retired from the session. Mickey coming across the finish line, opens up DRS. And his son's good enough for P9 126.1. So Quantum Effect's still in the top 10 despite DNFing earlier. We've got the McLaren of, I think that's Wingman's just coming out of the pits now. So we'll keep an eye on him later on. And Keeper's just coming into the pits. I think his session is done. We've got an Alpha Tauri who's just started a lap, or he's just come out of the pits as well. So wait for him a bit later. Well, let's jump on board with Wombi, who's just about to start his final lap of the session. 1 minute 33 remaining, so anyone behind him will most likely only get the 1 lap in time. Comes into turn 1, runs a bit deep, compromising his line for turn 2. That's going to hurt him all the way down the straight here, heading into turn 4. Got some yellow flags flying up as people are giving each other space. Red Bull comes through turn 4, a little bit conservative here. Takes a lot of curb on the inside, doesn't quite use all the track on the outside, and he's backed right out already by the looks of it. So he's got his delta was 2/10 worse than before, so he is now done. Going to jump on board with Combat, who's just crossed the start-finish line now, coming into turn 1. It's pretty tidy.
His teammate Skin's not far behind.
Absolutely. Drivers retiring, having finished. Just noting there that Mickey looks like he's retired on track there, and he is coming back onto the circuit. So this is why we don't like people retiring on track in qualifying. And I'm just going to jump on board with Skins, who looks like he nearly came together with the Alfa Romeo. That wasn't rejoined, but he does set purple first sector, 400ths of a second up. We'll jump back on board with his teammate. He's coming into the turn 9-10 double apex corner. It's much better than his teammate did earlier in the qualifying session, and he may actually be picking up a little bit of a tow from Sakhir in front of him there, coming into turn 11. Using a fair bit of the curb on the entry. Oh, he had to get out of the throttle a bit there, and I think he's backed out. He's going to give his teammate a tow, I think, on the final straight.
That bully that's gone off.
Yeah, he's gone straight off at turn 12. And a bit of a spinella there. And yeah, here we go, the Renaults. Timing us pretty well. Combat giving Skins a tow, gets out of the way well before the corner. They've learnt from Spa a couple of seasons ago. And Skins comes around the corner. And across the start-finish line. And he goes pole. 125.387. I think the tow has helped him a lot. Jacob Meister coming across the line now. Goes P2, 13,000ths of a second shy there. And we've got...
That's without a tow as well.
Absolutely. So, hey, yeah, that tow definitely gave Skins provisional pole there. You're going to jump back a little bit further. Wingman's currently on a playing lap. He's 2/10 down. Can he make it up in the final corner? Clips the apex nicely. Controls the traction on the exit of the corner. Opens the DRS. Comes across the line. And still 2.5 tenths down. We've got a few cars behind. Hero has jumped him. He's now going P3 with the 125.5. We've got another Alpha Tauri. Vasa is our last car to come across the line. And goes P11. let's have a look here. So Skins gets pole with 125.387, just 13 thousandths of a second quicker than Jacob Meister. So the tow he got from his teammate definitely got him across the line there. Hero in P3 for Haas with a 125.531. So we got Wingman, Baitmate, Combat, Lights, Quantum, Mickey, and Mr. Spicer rounding out our top 10. So all of them will be starting on the soft tyre. Mr. Spicer, of course, getting a 5 grid penalty for the collision with Conrod. So he'll start in P15, but will have to start on those used soft tyres, so that will hurt his race strategy a little bit. So Vasa will get promoted to P10. We've got Psycho as well, Keeper, Saxa, Mika will all move up one spot on the grid, and we've got Bully, King J, Wombi, Nut, and Conrod rounding out the grid.
Certainly got the makings of a very spicy race.
Absolutely. So just wait for the drivers to grid up. So they'll be picking their strategy now. So, of course, all those drivers who qualified in the top 10 will have to start on those soft tyres for this race. And everyone outside will most likely opt for the medium or the hard tyre. Of course, if there is an early safety car, anyone who chooses to start on the softs will be able to extend them a little bit. So very interested to see how they go with that. We may see some drivers opt for the two-stop strategy, so soft, soft, medium. But you do lose a lot of time in the pit lane here. So expect most drivers to try and get the one stop to work.
Yeah. Generally speaking, less stops, the better. It's not exactly a short pit lane here at Bahrain. That was exaggerated as we saw the oval circuit. You know, pit stop was even more detrimental.
Yeah, and we saw as well, like even Mikau, who had a 5-10 second lead before he came into the pits and still went down to about P13, 14 after that stop. So, and see just how much track position you do lose. So anyone going for a long stint could benefit from a late safety car.
Yeah, very much so. I was crossing my fingers for one of those myself.
Let's have a look at the tyres. So, of course, the top 9 starting on used soft tyres. We've got Vasa opting for the medium, Psycho on the hard, Keeper and Saxa on the medium, as Wombi has been disqualified for the session for coming together with another car by the looks of it. Yes, Keeper and Saxa on the mediums, Mika on the hard, Mr. Spicer obviously starting on those used soft tyres down at 15 after that grid penalty. Bully with the mediums, King J with the hard, Nut with the hard, and Conrad at the back starting on fresh soft tyres. So he's the only one outside of the top 10 starting on the softs. So,
well, might be a bit of a strategy. Maybe he was listening to the interview.
Quite possibly, yes. We'll see how he goes with that strategy, but yeah.
And if there is going to be a safety car, it's more than likely going to be at the start of the race.
I do not fancy being Wombi there on the grid with those hard tyres, not being able to warm those up. He's not going to get off the line very quickly, I don't think.
No, he's definitely going to struggle.
Skins is going to want to back up the grid here. Everyone's still bunched up a bit further down. We've got Conrad is all the way back, which is turning into turn 9 now as Skins turns into turn 12. So
you also don't want to take too much life out of your tyres. It is quite a hot track, so you want to be kind of just slowly working those temps up. And you don't want to be sitting on the grid for that long either.
Yeah, so even as he's starting to weave, like look at that gap. Like most of the drivers are still coming through turn 13 now as he's coming around the final corner. So yeah, you've got Conrad now is just at turn 12 as they're slowing down for the grid. So he and Jacob are going to be stationary for a very long time.
Yes, they are. Well, they're coming around the final corner now.
So we got our predicted stop strategy. There we go. So AWS Insights predicts that it's a 2-stop regardless of what tyre you want to use. So thank you for that. Not sure that's quite right, but anyway, we'll move on. So the drivers are all formed up on the grid now. The lights are coming on. And we're away. A little bit of a slow start from the Renault. The race point looks like he got a little bit better start with the Haas starting to go out wide. The other Renault a little bit further back. Starting to spray. We've got about 5 cars wide a bit further down the midfield as the Renault comes around the outside of Jacob Meister. Holds the position. Just going to jump a little bit further back. I think two drivers side by side. So we got the McLaren.
Wingman's gone around.
Wingman's gone off at turn 3, and it looks like he's rejoined. Yeah, it looks like he's got a bit of a spin there.
He's missing his right end plate as well.
Oh, his teammate Quantum Effect as well, struggling for grip. As we've got the Haas and the Mercedes side by side. He's coming to the twisting session in sector 2. Been a lot cleaner start than Tier 1 was, that's for sure, as Quantum Effect gets the move done on Mr. Spicer for P10. The Mercedes of Nut getting a move done on Wombi a bit further back with the side-by-side as they come into turn 9. Nut goes very wide, gets stuck on the curb out there and loses the position to Wombi.
Ooh, Mr. Spicer's gone around as well. I don't think he's got any damage.
Is that Keeper, I think, has had a bit of a spin there on the straight. Or he's lost some traction. Let's have a look at Wombi. Side-by-side with the Haas driver as they go... Oh, sorry, that's the Mercedes. Red Bull does come out on top, runs very wide. There's a little pick up a warning there for track limits at the back. Going to jump forward to Skins, who comes across the line in P1 at the moment. Half a second gap behind to Jacob and Hero. Of course, DRS will not be enabled until lap 3.
We have an AFR. He's gone around.
That's Vassar.
Oof. Almost came across the traffic there.
Oh, he's nearly gone into the wall trying to do his flip turn as Wingman comes past him there. You can see him parked up on the left-hand side. He should be able to recover that though, as Wingman does come into the pits to get that wing replaced. Then jump up a little bit higher. It looks like we've got a bit of a battle with combat. Just as I jump, all the positions have changed on the leaderboard, so thank you for that, Codemasters. Okay, it looks like we've got Mickey, no, it's not Mickey, a bit further back, King J, battling it out with Keeper there down 14. Oh, as the Mercedes thinks about having a big dive in turn 10, but backs out, and that's compromised him now. He's a bit vulnerable now to Bully just behind, but perhaps a little bit further back. Mickey now getting passed by the McLaren of Quantum Effect, who's got back control of his tyres with Alfa Romeo taking the inside line. A bit risky there. We saw what happened in Tier 1. Sid having a spin there, and the McLaren does hold the position. Got now the Alfa Romeo's gone round. Looks like King J has had a spin at turn 12. He's lost his left front end plate as well, so he's gone into the wall there, so he'll be needing to come into the pits to get that fixed. Going to jump up to Combat Rat, who looks like he's got a pretty good toe on the back of the AlphaTauri of Lights. Gets past him without DRS before the braking zone of turn 1, so the AlphaTauri must have had a shocking exit out of the final corner. Gets the move done. Looks like Psycho and Quantum Effect side by side going through turn 1. Psycho takes the position going into turn 2, but he's vulnerable on the exit of turn 3, and the McLaren has got DRS, and the Alfa Romeo as well is getting past him on the straight into turn 4. And yes, Psycho deciding to go in there at turn 1 to gain a position, ends up losing 2. A little bit further back, we've got Bully and Keeper battling it out for P12.
Just missed another little exchange there between Combat and Lights. Lights had another go down that DRS straight.
And Combat holding position as well. Feels something spread out a little bit. We've got Wombi under a bit of pressure from Mr. Spicer coming into turn 11. They're side by side. The Williams gets the move done well before the corner. Should be able to carry that speed through the S's. Actually, no, he's made a mistake. He's gone very wide there at turn 11, and he loses the position again to the Red Bull. So, yeah, looks like he was carrying a little bit too much speed as he went through there, and he's going to have to get past him again. Looks like he's going to have a think about going into the final corner, but obviously has a bit of a think about it, realises he can use the DRS and get him on the pit straight. And yeah, Wombi under a lot of pressure. Williams gets the move done. Oh, and Wombi has to slam on the brakes there, nearly running up the back of the Williams. We've got an incident. The other Williams has gone around Baitmate at turn 4.
Oh no.
Not sure didn't
He's
catch what happened
missing a
there.
right end plate.
Ooh, must
So
have
he's
been
hit
contact,
something.
definitely. So we've got Mika's just made a move on Psycho in turn 4, and Keeper as well has gotten past Bully. I'm just going to jump up to our race leader. It looks like Jacob is less than half a second behind Skins. Not using any overtake, but he does have DRS. That gap is dropping very quickly. I think he's going to be setting it up to get him on the pit straight. We've already broken clear of Hero's DRS. Yeah, looks like most of our leaders. Ooh, we've got Saxer and Batemate. Batemate struggling with that broken wing. Gets passed by Saxer in turn 13. Quantum effect as well, closing in on him. Jacob's struggling in the final sector to stick with Skins. The gap's gone out to about 6/10 again, even though he does have DRS as Batemate comes into the pits to get that wing replaced. He's closed the gap back up to 3/10, but I wonder if he's running more downforce than the Renault driver, because it seems that on that straight without DRS he's just able to pull away just that little bit more.
Yeah, it could be a bit of setup.
Got a bit of a
Maybe
battle
it's the
happening for
dirty air.
P11. We've got the Mercedes of Keeper having to hold off both Mr. Spicer and Bully. Mr. Spicer gets past Bully. A few gaps forming between the drivers, breaking off into a couple of little battle groups. Hero is so close to getting back in the DRS range of Jacob Meister, but you just see on that straight, Jacob seems to be losing a little bit of time to the Renault driver.
Yeah, it's just running a little bit more wing.
Keep under pressure from the Williams driver now. He has a bit of a look at the final corner, but again, he picks up the DRS, get him going into turn 1. And yeah, gets it done pretty early on the straight. Not even close to the braking zone.
Mr. Spice is also right out of battery down that straight. And that also put them within range of Psycho. Sorry, there, Gus.
No, that's right. It's Quantum and Mickey getting pretty close to Saxo, but not quite close enough to make a move yet. But yeah, Mr. Spice is struggling a little bit at the moment, trying to generate that energy. Keep sticking with him well. But yeah, Bully's back within DRS range.
Oi, 3-second penalty for Bully there.
Yeah, Bully and Bassa both having 3-second penalties at the moment. So we wait for the drivers to kind of get settled into their rhythm. We'll have a quick look at the position. So our top 3 have stayed the same from the grid, but we've had Combat move up 2, Lights move up 2, Saxa move up 7 positions, Quantum move up 1, Mickey move up 1, Mika up 5, Psycho up 1, Mr. Spicer up 4. Keepers where he started. We've got a couple of drivers coming into the pits now. That looks like Lights and Quantum effects. Coming in near those soft strains. It's quite an early stop, so they might be going for the 2-stop strategy here.
Again, Mr. Spicer out of battery power down that straight. He needs to somehow start to preserve some of that battery and store it back up, because he can't afford to be running out and on 0% for the whole race.
So Lights and Quantum effect pitting onto the medium tyres. They are committing to the 2-stop. Won't be able to get those to last another 22 laps, that's for sure. And Jacob Meister so much closer to the back of Skins now. He seems to be a lot quicker in the second sector. Obviously more corners, so it does suggest that he's running a bit more wing than Skins is. Just 3/10 by the end of the straight. this straight line between turns 13 and 14. Jacob just, even with the toe, he's not quite close enough. He's 5/10 down as he gets DRS. As Combat has pit, so Renault opting to bring in the second position driver into the pits first. And jump back to Psycho, who's under a little bit of pressure from the Williams and Mr. Spicer, but as I've mentioned, is not really managing his ERS well. And he's now coming under pressure from Keeper as well.
Combat pitting onto the hard, so suggests he's going for the one stop.
As the Mercedes makes a move on the racing point in turn 1, can't quite get it done. But the racing point's line will be compromised, having to defend in turn 2. Mercedes not quite got enough speed to get the move done, but he goes for a big dive from a long way back. Racing point gives him space, a little bit of contact, but the racing point stays in front.
So that was the Mercedes trying to make up 2 places there.
Yeah, Keeper getting past Mr. Spicer pretty quickly on the straight as Wombi picks up a 3-second penalty. Conrad is currently holding up both Combat and Lights, who have already pit. Probably want to get clear of the Red Bull driver pretty quickly as the Alpha Tauri makes a big dive into turn 9 and 10, gets the move done on the Renault. And they both get past. Conrad looks like he's let them go through, so it's quite nice of him. He doesn't have to do that, but yeah, I think he knows a bit out of position with these guys. As we've got a battle for P1. Skin's running very deep with P1, and Jacob gets the move done.
Heroes come into the pits.
Looks like Skins have got his braking position all wrong after having to move across to defend from Jacob. And Jacob forcing the error and was able to get past pretty cleanly. And jump back to Psycho, who's under pressure from Keeper again. Gonna get done on this lap. A little bit too far away. And this is currently our closest battle on the track. We've got a few others that are not too far behind, but a bit out of position at the moment with some of the drivers pitting.
Skin's already out of DRS and low on battery as well.
Yeah, I wonder if Jacob may have actually been sitting behind Skins, just turning the engine down slightly. And we've got Batemate and Conrad side by side at turn 8. Yeah, I wonder if it was just him conserving some energy. As we've got Combat getting past Quantum in the exit at turn 9, but Quantum's got DRS, tries to hang it around the outside at turn 10. That's
Jacob's coming into the pits, Skin's coming into the pits, so both of them pitting this lap.
And Quantum Effect with his medium tyres got so much more grip than Combat Rat, able to get the move done around turn 12. And see where they filter out. Saxon takes over the lead of the race, so he is the lead driver on medium tyres. Obviously he starts on those tyres, being outside the top 10. Mickey coming through P2, Psycho on the hards as well, Keeper medium, Bully medium. And Jacob Meister comes out in P6. And he's in a nice little bubble here, so he's got out in front of some of the midfield runners who are currently battling. So he's got a nice 2-second gap to Bully in front. So that's going to be helping his race quite a bit.
Unfortunately for Skins, Nut and Wombi in between himself and Jacob Meister at the moment.
Looks like they're battling pretty hard. He's not going to have a go into the hairpin. He doesn't. Lights again going for a move into turn 10, pushing the Haas a little bit wide, and it's on the medium tyres. He can't quite get back in front of Hero before turn 11. And yeah, definitely Skins, Hero and Lights are all going to be losing a fair bit of time getting stuck behind Wombi and Nut. They're also going to struggle to get past Nut because he's got DRS. As Conrad Looks like he's been passed by Vasa towards the back.
Skin's going for the move now. No, thinks better of it.
Oh, and a bit of contact with the Haas as well. Didn't look like there was any damage. Yeah, definitely a concertina effect happening there as the Renault does get past the Mercedes this time. Ooh, he looked like he had to get out of the way of the Red Bull there, which is going quite slow on the inside. He's jumping up to Keeper, who has got... He's defending against Bully now, who's gone around the outside at turn 4. And he's got the position 1 there. Will be under a lot of pressure. Nut looks like he's lost a couple of positions there as the Renault Skins has a great dive. Turn 8. I think it's 8, 7. One of those.
Yeah, I think Wombi got it wrong. He's really struggling at the moment, and that's let Hero through as well.
Wombi trying to stick around the outside. We can't do it, and we've got... Whoa, Lights has just gained 2 positions there through turn 9 and turn 10. He is obviously not wanting to wait. Just using up those fresh mediums. He's got to try and get through this traffic. That was a very aggressive move. Got both of them. There was a little bit of contact though, and I think the Mercedes of Nut ran up the back of him. It didn't look like he had any damage, but yeah, very, very aggressive. We'll jump up to Bully, who's under a lot of pressure from the racing point of Jacob Meister. So he's already caught up that 2-second gap when he came out of the pits after just 1 lap. And he's already overtaken him just after the DRS zone, so he's storming through the field. He's going to jump a little bit further back. Looks like Nuts getting overtaken by a Wombi. And got quantum effect there as well. Trying to get past it. They bump tyres, and the Renault Combat looks to have a massive
Very
dive.
optimistic
I
move
don't
there.
think he was going to get that done.
Maybe misjudged his braking point.
Jumping up to Lights again, who's getting past Hero now into turn 4. That was a pretty comfortable move there. Obviously, differentiate different tyres, so quite a bit more pace. Bully a bit further up.
Oh no, Nut! He's spun, he's into the wall, and say goodbye to your left wing end plate.
Yeah, you can see him there. That damage comes out in front of Vasa, who nearly collides with the back of him. Jumping up to Quantum Effect is getting past Wombi as well, so those 4-lap old mediums. Wombi tries to get back at him, but can't quite get it done. Going to jump up to Keeper now, who's under a bit of pressure. He's trying to get past Bully, but at the same time he's trying to defend from Skins. Takes the outside, then switches to the inside of turn 11. Ran the outside of the Ferrari at turn 12, can't quite get it done. He switches to the inside now for 13 and gets the move done. A great couple of corners there from Keeper. The Ferrari runs out very wide and now Skins, and the Renault gets past him as well. And Keeper's going to want to put the foot down now because the Renault driver's on a charge. Does have the tyre advantage here. He's on the mediums, but they're pretty tired as he comes... No, he doesn't come into the pits, but he's defending pretty hard. The Ferrari tries to get the toe. Mercedes is city duck there with no DRS. The Renault and the Ferrari... Oh, the Renault gets in front. The Ferrari is side by side with the Mercedes. The Mercedes hogs the inside and forces the Ferrari out wide. He should pick up DRS now on the Renault. But those old... he's dropping off a fair bit from Skins now with those old tyres, but he and Bully both started on the medium.
Going on. Sorry to interrupt. Wombi, Combat, and Baitmate.
Oh, the Mercedes, the Ferrari still side by side as they go through the S's. The Mercedes stays in front. A little bit of contact there with the Ferrari's front wing. No damage done. And now Lights is saying, nah, I want this position. And again, he goes for a dive into turn 8. Oh, and a bit of contact on the exit as well for good measure. But he gets the position just as they come into turn 9 and turn 10. The Ferrari's now under pressure from Hero as well. So Lights very aggressively moving through the field now. He doesn't want to lose too much time getting stuck behind his back markers. That's now Bully under a lot of pressure from Hero, who gets the move done going into turn 11. And these guys staying out on the older tyres are really starting to lose a lot of grip and a lot of track position with it. And while Keeper's having to defend from Lights as well. He's looking very, very racy. He's used up all his ERS though. His lights flashing at the back of the car, which means he's under 10% as we've got Sakhir, our race leader, coming into the pits. Those medium tyres have had enough. Mika takes over the race lead with Jacob Meister just behind him. Keeper getting very defensive as he goes on the pit straight, hogging the inside near the pit wall. Lights gets the move done just as they cross the start-finish line. Keeper's still holding the inside line. He's going to try and push him a bit wide here at the exit of turn 1. But AlphaTauri has got the move done. And now Hero's right on the tail of the Mercedes. They do both have DRS, so Lights is vulnerable against the Mercedes, who goes to the inside for turn 4 and gets the move done again. He's on the inside. AlphaTauri holds position on the outside. But the Mercedes does stay in front of the Haas. As Wombi picks up another penalty for exceeding track limits. So we've got Bullion Vasa in the pits at the moment. So looks like they've settled down a little bit for the moment. Baitmate now under a little bit of pressure from the Renault of Combat.
As we're reaching that halfway mark of the race at the moment.
Yeah, so expect to see, I think who else? We got Mika on the hard tyre. He should be coming into the pits in the next couple of laps. And changing onto the medium tyre. And Keeper as well. Stayed out for a very long time on those medium tyres. So he'll be coming in shortly. I think he might be coming in now, and he does. So great first stint from him. A lot of defending, but some hard racing. And jump down to Mickey and Wombi going side by side on the pit straight. Now for Romeo on the outside. The Red Bull sent it in a little bit on the inside. And Mickey gets the move done. To defend from the DRS of the Red Bull driver, who sends it to the inside. Has a good look, but backs out wisely at the last minute. Ferrari hanging around at the back as well. Sakhir on those fresh hard tyres. Again, he's not going to want to be held up too much, or he'll lose that advantage. Meanwhile, Jacob is closing in on Mika to regain the race lead. As the Ferrari is going to go around the outside of the Red Bull, which squeezes him quite hard at the exit of turn 9 and 10. Sakhir pretty desperate to get past the Red Bull here. Doesn't want to get held up too much, or he'll lose that pace advantage with these fresh tyres. And Jacob now closing in on the Haas driver for the lead. Should get this move done pretty comfortably. And he does, jumping a bit further back to his teammate, though, he's under a lot of pressure from the Renault of Skins, who gets the move done before the braking zone. He's going to squeeze the Racing Point out wide. No, he gives him a lot of space, and the Racing Point's still in front. But that means the Renault driver is going to pick up the DRS. And he does. They were side by side going through turn 3 as well, but yeah, quite wisely just lifted a little bit and managed to pick up a DRS, and that's helped him hold the position. Jumping a little bit further back, I think that's Wingman. Not for a move on Wombi. No, we've got... that was Wombi coming into the pits now, so he's got those new tyres. I think that's almost everyone. Just waiting on Psycho to pit and Mika, so they started on the hard tyres. So I expect them
Yeah,
to...
they might be trying to extend so they can pit straight onto the soft.
Yeah, and also potentially waiting for a safety car as well, so... could be a good strategy. About 13 laps left in the race, so expect around about lap 19 thereabouts. So I'll chuck onto the soft tyre, and if they save those from qualifying as well, then they might have a fresh set to push really hard with. Up to P7 Quantum Effect. Pretty racy against Hero. His 8-lap-old mediums though will be losing a little bit of their pace now, as Mika does come into the pits to get rid of those hard tyres, and he's sped into the pit lane as well, so he's picked up a 5-second penalty, so that's not going to help his strategy at all.
Especially with a field as tight as this at the moment.
So we've got the Haas of Hero having a look at Lights. A little bit further up for that. He's going to get DRS. Lights takes the inside line, but he's pretty much a sitting duck now. Hero makes the move look pretty easy around the outside. So we've got Batemate as well in the pits. Obviously, he's quite out of position after getting some damage early on in the race. Looks like he's resuming his battle with Keeper, though, who's come out in front of him. They go side by side heading into turn 4. Mercedes on the inside, and Williams just takes it around the outside. Looks like Mercedes going very slowly. I'm not sure if he
Batemate
bit of collision there.
3 second. Penalties starting to come in now.
Light's under a lot of pressure now. Quantum Effect is trying to hang on to the back of Hero. He's having a look at his mirrors now. McLaren driver is getting pretty close. Light's running very wide there, and he definitely would have picked up a warning there. And he runs wide on the exit of the final corner as well. That's going to put him under some pressure from the McLaren. He's coming to the bits. Only 9 laps in the medium. That's interesting. Oh, 2 stop. Yes, that's right. He was one of the first to pit, so be out of position now. Hero all over the back of Psycho now. Heading into turn 4. We've got DRS. Psycho staying to the outside of the track. And runs him a bit wide. It's going to leave him vulnerable to the McLaren of Quantum Effect. Just behind as well. They go single file through the second sector. And meanwhile, Jacob Meister's now got nearly a 5-second lead over Skins.
Plus the 3 seconds that Skins has in penalties.
So the Quantum Effect making a move on Psycho now, coming into turn 11. Takes the inside line, runs the racing point out quite wide. And I think there's a bit of contact there. Psycho had to get right out of the throttle. And yeah, he's lost the position, and he's almost out of DRS as well. Spread out a little bit. I think the closest battle we've got at the moment. So Wingman closing in on Keeper. Quantum Effect and Psycho, I think, just holding into DRS range of the cars in front. Batemate as well, closing in on Lights. I think he will have a go going into turn 1. He used up all of his energy though to close the gap. I think he set the fastest lap of the race that lap, and he does get the move done at turn 1, but it has to get right out of the throttle to let the AlphaTauri through. We'll pick up DRS though on the next straight, heading towards turn 4. A little bit of a sweat of the overtake, but still too far back. And just in the background there, we saw Keeper getting defensive against the McLaren of Wingman. Wingman on much older hards, but carrying a lot of speed. He had a spin earlier in the race, and that's hurt his chances of getting a good result.
Hyra not really able to stick with Skins at the moment either. So that's kind of taking some pressure off Skins.
Yeah, he's got a gap of good 4.7 seconds, so that 3-second penalty he's got for track limits won't count. Well, won't
at
lose
the
any
moment.
position. So, yes, that's true. He may have more warnings. So, I want to be careful, as we do have a racing point of Psychos coming to the pits now after going 19 laps on those hards. So he'll jump onto the soft tyre now and try and come back through the field for a late race push.
I think he's going to come out behind Wingman.
Yeah, just
in
watching them
P14.
now. They're crossing the start-finish line now as Psycho is still in the pits. They will catch him on the exit as they go side by side. Wingman gets the move done on Keeper. Keeper trying to come back at him on the inside. McLaren runs very deep. Mercedes just gets squeezed out at turn 2. He will get DRS for the run into turn 4.
That was important for Psycho to get
Goes
out
to the inside.
in front of this little battle here.
McLaren doing exceptionally well for hards that are 17 laps old. Keeper not able to get the position. But yeah, Psycho's already pulled out a second and a half from those guys after coming out of the pits just in front of them. So race update, we do have Jacob leading the race at the moment, 4 seconds clear of Skins, who's about 5 seconds clear of Hero in P3.
Ooh, keeps going for the move. It goes down the inside.
Pushes the McLaren out.
Gets the move done though.
Yeah, quantum effects mediums look like they're pretty shot by now. So Hero moves up into that podium position. So he's got 2 seconds to find to close the gap to Skins and gain that P2 position. This is the post-race penalty that Skins will get. So you've got Wingman and Keeper still battling down in 13th. Keeper got past him again at the end of the pit straight. Oh, as the McLaren pushes himself past the Mercedes to try and take the outside line into turn 4. A little bit of contact between the two of them. The Mercedes inside as they come into the tight and twisty section. It does hold position. Wingman struggling to get past Keeper with those old hards. Jumping a little bit further up. Lights is now on charge again. It's up to P10 and he's right on the back of Mr. Spicer.
Back into the points. Oh, they're having a look.
Oh, is it? Oh, is he ghosted?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Yes.
He's
Yeah,
collected
contact.
the Williams there as well.
Oh, he's lost his front
Oh, and
wing.
Batemate, it's unsteady. Batemate, he's lost it. Oh no, sorry, that's Mr. Spicer.
Yeah, Mr. Spicer's gone round as well. He's got his front wing still intact, but
I think that nudge that he got from Lights while he was mid-spin may have put some temps into those rear tyres.
Yeah, a weird bit of a network issue, unfortunately, at that point, guys. So, yeah, it looked like Mr. Spicer had ghosted when Lights went through him on my screen. So, yeah, it looks like they have come together. A bit of damage on the Alpha Tauri. So Mercedes, the keeper, gets past Wingman again. He's going to have to defend him on the next straight. And McLaren will get the ERS as well. And McLaren gets past him on the outside, well before the braking zone as well. So basically just using the DRS to jockey each other past.
And keeper on substantially fresher tyres as well. So Wingman doing an excellent job here.
Yeah, keeper
keeping
just doesn't have the
Mercedes
pace at all.
behind.
Yeah. Great shine from the McLaren driver. Going to jump up to Psycho. He's on those fresh softs, but he's got quantum effect right behind him, also on fresh softs, and with DRS as well as they come into turn 11. Psycho tries to hang around the outside, but McLaren just has too much speed and gets the move done pretty comfortably. Jumping a bit further back, it looks like Lights is trying to get past Keeper. Side by side through turn 12.
With the damaged
the
wing
Mercedes
as well.
forced the Alpha Tauri right out onto the curb there. Of course, yeah, with his damage to his wing, a little bit of understeer as well didn't help. So he's going super defensive on the run into the final corner. Lights obviously on a fresh medium tyre is going to have a lot more pace and grip than the Mercedes, who's now almost out of DRS range of Wingman in front.
Skins has closed the gap down to Jacob Meister to 2.9.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a big push. Got 6 laps to go to get past him and then get another 3-second gap, as it looks like the Mercedes has had a real problem coming out of turn 3. Lights is trying to go around the outside of turn 4. Still hanging around there. He's really struggling with that wing damage to get any sort of purchase on the front tyres in the corners. Jump up to Quantum Effect, who's closing in the back of Batemate. Those fresh soft tyres really helping him tear through the field. There's a look into turn 11. Oh, he's very late decision to go for the move. A little bit of contact between the McLaren and the Williams. Side by side going through turn 12. McLaren goes very wide. Goes through side by side again in turn 13. And the Williams spun. The Williams has spun.
Psycho, so lucky there that Batemate ghosted, but Batemate's going to be mortified.
Absolutely, and he's pointing the wrong way, I think, as well. He's got no wing damage, that's alright, but he's getting completely swamped by all the drivers around him. He tries to go defensive against the Mercedes of Keeper, and can't quite see. The angle's not great. It looked like there might have been a little bit of contact between Keeper, and Keeper's currently under pressure from Lights as well.
Forcing Lights onto the grass.
The AlphaTauri onto the grass. He's in the slipstream now of the Williams, ducks to the inside, and Mercedes getting past the Williams. A little bit of contact with the McLaren as well in front. They're still side by side as they go through turn 2, and Mercedes getting pushed right up onto the curb of turn 3. All over it. Oh, you could throw a blanket over everyone. They're that close together. They almost got there. Going 3 wide into turn 4. That's not going to work at all. And it looks like the Mercedes has lost out there. He had to get right out of the throttle in order for them to get through without a collision.
I think the Mercedes made the wise decision.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not getting involved in this.
He lost a bit of position, but there would have been a pretty horrendous accident there if they had stuck in it. Lights really struggling for traction the exit out of turn 8. He's got a yellow flag a bit further back. We've got a Red Bull of Wombi, I think, has had an issue out of turn 8 as well. There's a bit of track position there as Lights under pressure from Keeper. Going into turn 11, and Keeper gets the move done. So his patience at turn 4 has paid off a little bit further in sector 2. It's the Williams all over the back of Wingman as well. Jumping on board with Baymate, who's going to be pretty hungry to get some positions back and possibly get back into the points after that collision earlier. Do have that save, so remind me to come back to it once this battle's ended. Baymate gets the move done at the final corner. Mercedes side by side goes past the McLaren as well, who's actually lost DRS. So Batemate getting the move done just before just after the detection zone. So he was able to get DRS as the AlphaTauri as well, having a look at the McLaren. A little bit of contact between the two. And Wingman is a sitting duck here. He's on 22 lap old hards. He's got no grip whatsoever. He's got a little bit of DRS to defend with, and that's about it. The AlphaTauri trying around the outside of turn 4, and he's just got nothing to work with. He loses position to the AlphaTauri as well. Unfortunately, yeah, Wingman loses a few positions there in the space of 1 lap. Alright, we'll have a look at that replay quickly. Yeah, so we had a bit of contact between the Williams and the McLaren going into turn 11. They were side by side through 12 as well. And they looked alright. The McLaren got forced wide and then just turned in on Williams. It looked like he left him no space at all on the inside of turn 13. And yeah, it caused him to spin. So I'm sure the stewards will be having a look at that one after the race. Meanwhile, Skins has closed in to within 3 seconds of Jacob Meister. So he's obviously pushing
and pulled away
hard
from Hero as well.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the main reason. I think he's probably trying to just pull that gap out of Hero, so there's no chance that he's going to get a loser position.
Yeah.
That 3 second penalty. As Wingman comes to the pit, so finally pitting on those hard tyres. I think he tried to get to the end with the 1 stop, but he just had to pit too early after that damage at the start of the race.
So currently Mika on 5 seconds, Batemate on 3, Bully 6, Vasa 6, and Wombi 6 seconds of time penalties, and obviously Skin still on the 3.
And King J closing in on Conrad for P19. Some pretty fresh soft tyres, gets the move done. Moves up to 19th. So we've got 3 laps to go. Let's have a look at that gap. So it looks like Keeper, the battle between Batemate, Keeper and Lights is still raging. Just about 1.5 seconds separates the 3 of them. And it looks like they're closing in on Mr. Spicer as well for P10. So Batemate has a 3 second penalty already. So I don't think Mr. Spicer is going to let his teammate by anytime soon. Not with enough time for him to pull out a 3-second gap in the last couple of laps. As Lights peels off into the pits, a couple of laps to go. Probably could have got those mediums to the end, so he may be going to for the fastest lap. Bit surprised he's done that. The Mercedes having a look at the Williams into turn 1.
He really enjoys having a look into turn 1, doesn't he? This keeper in the Mercedes.
Yeah, I think Lights is getting his wing repaired, so yeah, I think he's realised he's not going to get any improvement for track position while that wing's damaged, so he might just go for the fastest lap of the race. Keep that away from the leaders. We'll jump up to Mika. Looks like he's having a look at Mickey. Run into turn 11. Quite going to get it done this lap. There's still a couple to go.
Currently, the fastest lap is a 129.4, held by Psycho in P9.
So at the moment, he will get that extra point, but we've got a couple of guys now on fresh tyres, Wingman and Lights. Wingman, I'd expect, will take that fastest lap.
Definitely give it a go, that's for sure.
Mika setting up Mickey for P6. Got the DRS, he's got a little bit of energy saved up. Opens the flap. Quantum sets the fastest lap of the race for 129.3. And the Haas driver gets past the Alfa Romeo. And jump back to Baitmate. Interesting to see what happens with his teammate here. He is within the DRS. No, he's not within the DRS. He's just outside.
So I think at this stage, Mika might be dropping all the way down to P9.
Yeah, and Quantum Effect's looking very racy. He's got reasonably fresh soft tyres. He has a look at the Alfa Romeo into turn 8. Oh, he has a big moment on the exit as well. Got a little bit too throttle happy. Lost the rear.
You got to be smart about it in these moments. You got to wait until the DRS. You know, just you're so close to the end. You've got the speed. Just make the right move.
And looks like he's got it done going into turn 11. Keeper's still all over the back of Baitmate. Coming into turn 9 and 10. As Jacob Meister starts the final lap of the race, just under 3 seconds clear of Skin, so it looks like he's managing that gap well. He knows he doesn't have much pressure at all with that penalty hanging over Skin's head. And Heroes drops right off with about 8.7 seconds behind. Jump back a little bit to Baitmate, see if he's got any answer to his teammate just in front. I think he's just using him to keep ahead of Keeper. Oh, as we've got Lights and Nut going side by side through turn 12. Lights on brand new soft tyres, makes short work of the Mercedes driver down in 18th. There's Baitmate.
It really hasn't been a good weekend for the Mercedes boys.
No, not at all, but Keeper still hanging on to this battle for 10th. I wonder if Baitmate's just trying to hold up Keeper to protect his teammate and get that 1 point as Light sets the fastest lap of the race to 127.961. Ooh, as the Williams nearly collides with his teammate.
Well, Jacob Meister coming around the final corner now.
Jump on board with him now as fireworks go off. Congratulations to Jacob Meister for getting the win. Just going to drop back with Baitmate, who's still under a lot of pressure from the Keeper. So one last chance coming into the final corner. He will get the position. Of course, Mika serving that 5-second penalty post-race. Losing a few positions. Keeper has a little bit of a look at the final corner. Can't quite get it done. As Mr. Spicer comes across the finish line in P10, Baitmate 11th and Keeper 12th, but Keeper jumps Baitmate. It's that penalty. Bully coming around the final corner now in 13th. So those 3 drivers have 6-second penalties, so they'll finish where they are. Although Wingman on the fresh soft tyres, is he going to make up any positions there? 15th, so he jumps ahead of Warmby. Lights as
Just
well.
behind Barca as well.
Coming across, Nut. King J now coming across the line. A little bit of wiggle as he crosses the finish line. And we've got Conrad rounding out the grid. Didn't quite have the excitement of the Tier 1 race a bit earlier, but
Definitely some close fighting throughout, so it was good driving from a lot of the guys there.
yeah, definitely. But a dominant performance from Jacob Meister up the front. After Skins got past him quite early on, it just looked like he slipped into just conservation mode, just saving the tyres, saving the fuel and the ERS. And after the pit stops, managed to... I think that clear air he got after the pit stop really helped his race. So we've got Skins finishing in P2 and Hero in P3 for Haas. Got Combat Rat in P4, so good result from Renault, 2nd and 4th. We've got Sakhir in 5th, Quantum in 6th, Mickey 7th, Mika 8th after that 5-second penalty post-race. Psycho in 9th, Mr. Spicer in P10. Rounding out the points, got Keeper in P11, Baitmate 12, Bully 13th, Vassa 14th, Wingman 15th, Wombi 16th. Lights, Nut, King J and Conrad rounding out the grid. And no retirements in Tier 2, so well done to everyone there for keeping it pretty clean. Alrighty.
Yes, very much so.
Now, Band, are we able to grab any of our drivers for post-race interview?
I will see if any of them are available. Just one moment. I'll grab Jacob Meister. How about that?
Excellent. It'll be good to talk to our race winner.
Jacob Meister.
Congratulations. Finally, after a couple of races where you had some incidents that set you back after a good qualifying, you've got the job done. Well done.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Bit fortunate, but happy to be in the same spot I was in 3 seasons ago. So woohoo.
Absolutely. So it looked like you may have been during that first stint doing a little bit of conservation, saving the fuel, saving the energy. Is that right?
Well, yeah, a bit of both. Well, the thing is, I wasn't getting a good run out of turns 2 and 3. And I really needed that because I was never going to take Skins on the first straight. I didn't want to leave myself open to that. So, because I never got that good run, I just sort of, okay, I'll just hang back, wait for my chance. And then during the end of that stint, I think he just fell off and I just managed to get him. So it worked out. Yeah,
absolutely. And then obviously after the pit stop, you came out in a nice little bubble as well. You didn't really have much traffic at all to contend with. And yeah, after the L pit, you had a pretty decent run to the finish.
Yeah, again, a bit fortunate because we came out in a little bit of traffic. It wasn't crazy, but Skins was 2 cars behind me after the pit stops. And he obviously picked up 3 seconds as well. So it wasn't really much of a concern, although I might have made a move on Keeper that was a bit silly into the double left-hander, which was the riskiest we've ever done. But apart from that, no, it was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, really well done. All right, well, thanks for having a chat to us. I know it's late there in New Zealand, so I'll let you run off to bed. And yeah, congratulations.
Thanks,
yeah, nice win, mate.
Thanks.
Okay, so...
See if I'll grab Skins, hey?
Skins is usually up for a chat.
Skins.
Oh, hello.
Congratulations on P2.
Yeah.
Pretty, well, basically becoming a regular spot on the commentary panel after this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take it. There's been a Renault on every grid so far, so I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff for you guys. You must be doing pretty well in the constructors. So yeah, pretty good race from you. It looked like you were a bit quicker than Jacob in the first stint, but he may have been saving a little bit of energy.
Yeah, I think he was saving, but I felt like I was holding him all right, and then it was just one mistake when the tyres cooked. He got me, and then got in front on pits. I did get compounded by the fact that I had a fucking funnel web spider in my room crawling like on the wall next to me. I kept looking up at it, but credit to Jake. It was a good race. I was reeling him in at the end, but I don't think it would have mattered with the pens. But yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, you seem to have a bit of a late push as well because the gap had blown out to about 6 or 7 seconds, and then next time we looked, it was down to about 3. And we're thinking, oh, maybe he's gonna get him across the
Yeah.
line, but
I would have loved it, to be honest. I was definitely pushing for it, but credit to Jacob. Good race from him.
no worries. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Skins.
Cool.
Congratulations
Thanks,
again
guys.
on another podium.
Yeah, I'll take it, boys. Collect them like Pokemon. I'll get them.
Absolutely.
Got to catch them all, mate.
Exactly. Good lad. Take care, lads.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Right, and then I think we had Hero
We
in
do have
P3,
Hero.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Hero
Yeah,
who's down in the
I'll
Haas
grab
chat.
him now.
Hero, welcome to the stream. Congratulations
Yo.
on your podium.
Thank you, thank you.
It was a bit of a turn of fortune for you after Silverstone last week with a bit of an incident on the start there.
Yep.
But yeah, a pretty solid race from you, and you're a bit out of position as well, if I remember correctly, from qualifying. So pretty great result for you in the end.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just got my wheel halfway through the week, and I didn't get much time to practice. But yeah, I felt like my quali pace was pretty good, but my race pace was alright. But when I decided to pit a lap early, it kind of helped me get out of the train that I think Skins got stuck in for a wee bit. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were so you're brand new to wheel this week, and you finished on the podium.
No. My wheel broke.
Right.
Before, yeah, before Britain. So
No worries. Okay, so that's pretty good then. So to bounce back from that after last week, to get a good podium, and I think both the Haas drivers did pretty well. I think Mika did have a penalty, so you didn't quite get the maximum points you could have, but still a great result for you guys at Haas this weekend.
good result. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much for popping in for a quick chat. We'll let you go. It's getting a bit late. So
Sweet.
thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
All right, so that's a bit about it from us. So Bandcamp, we've got Friday series with the F1 2010 on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Melbourne time. Do you know where you guys are at?
Yes, so we just raced at France, so we'll be at Mexico next.
Fantastic. So yeah, make sure you tune into that. We should have Apollo Pepsi commentating that with combined YouTubers, so should be a good fun race, that one. And of course in Tier 1 and Tier 2 on next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Melbourne time, we have the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. So it's always a fun one. Make sure you tune in for that one. And yeah, that's it from us. So thank you so much to Bandcamp for joining me for Tier 2 and to Jacob Meister joining me earlier in the evening for Tier 1. I've been Gus Rules, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.